What's up, Camp Broadside? Hey, if you've ever heard of the podcast Missouri Woods and Water, there's probably a pretty good chance that you've heard of Mr. Nate Thomas. Well, Camp Broadside's honored to have him join us tonight. So, without further ado, please help me give a big old Camp Broadside welcome to Mr. Nate Thomas.
Troy's talking about the 10-point miss. Swears it was close, but it don't sound like it. Brandon's grinning, bragging about his dope. Bartlett's spike, well, we all know it's blood trails and bucktails. Round the fire where the whiskey sails. Every heart's a story, every shot's a chance. What's your story to tell? What's your...
I'm telling you, that shit was the craziest thing I ever seen.
Nate Thomas, what's happening, buddy?
Nothing. I just hope I don't burn my
Yeah,
bird
be
legs
careful.
on your fire.
I knew you said your toes was cold, so I thought, well, it'll be all right once we get down there.
Whenever it's above 40 degrees, I'm wearing shorts.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
So,
Hey, thanks for coming on, man. It's a
thanks
pleasure
for having me
having
out.
you here, dude.
Yeah.
I was kind of telling you earlier, I get a little nervous. I said, you've been doing this a long time, and I'm
been a minute.
I'm a rookie. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I knew about you when I met you at the Whitetail, the Show Me Whitetail
yep.
Classic, and I didn't know you were gonna be there. I don't think. Maybe I did, but I saw you there. I'm like, I gotta go introduce myself to him because I've been seeing your clips. And we talked at the classic. I'm like, man, you do some cool editing on your clips. And, you know, I was actually watching your show with the guy from Hunt Arsenal last week.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot
Alex
his name.
Rewa. Yeah.
And you're putting like pictures of the platforms and the side. I'm like, man, I do that shit.
Yeah. Dude,
Can I cuss?
don't know.
Can I cuss here?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'm like, I don't
There's
know
only
that
one
stuff.
word we don't say here.
The
and that's-
GD?
Nope, the R word.
Okay, yeah, I get
Other
it.
than that,
Yep.
you say pretty much whatever you want.
We don't let anybody say the Lord's name in vain. That's the only one we,
and
don't, we try
I
not to.
follow that
Yeah.
too pretty good. Yeah.
Most people don't, but
Yeah.
we had,
Yeah,
one, we
I
had
mean-
one guy. We had to start over one time because he went a little heavy.
Dude, have you ever had somebody that, so just like with you, I talk to you for a little bit, you know, kind of just get to know you, get a vibe or whatever. Just
Yeah.
I think it makes things more comfortable.
Sure,
And I've talked to somebody and been like, they're just like
too much.
pretty rough around the edge. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know, and I'm not one to be like, well, don't do this, don't do that. So I'm just like, well, we're gonna go with it, see what happens.
Yeah,
Dude, it turned out to be the nicest. I mean, just the nicest podcast. It was like I was like, all right,
Oh, okay.
that was super cool,
Yeah.
man.
most people are dial it down a little. This one fella, he dropped like 3 GDs in the first 2 minutes, and so I hit stop. I'm like, hey man,
Yeah,
we're gonna start over. You can cuss, just don't say that so
Yeah,
many times.
Not that one.
I don't want to edit it that much.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah. Well, I'm glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad you're here too, man, and I appreciate the editing. Like I said, I just been probably 6 months ago. I didn't even know how I had my daughter-in-law. She was doing it for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she was killing it. But I was always having to say, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? And I was like, finally, I was like, man, I got to figure this out.
Right.
And I just started doing it. And next thing you know, but it takes me a long time my wife will be like, are you still editing? I'm like, yeah, because I got to put this in there now or that. Because I feel like the whole thing about video podcasts is people are watching it. You want them you got to keep their attention. And so I'm like, yeah, we got to do something like that.
We've only been doing our YouTube for about a year.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. So we started our podcast 6 years ago, but
And what's the name of yours, just for everybody
Missouri
else?
Woods and Water.
There you go.
And but we decided to start the YouTube, the video portion of it about a year ago, somewhere in there. And it's kind of like you said, I'm surprised how many people watch you talk.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of folks like you were like, you guys should do it on YouTube. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
You just want to watch us talk? And we got one dude down in Kentucky that he's got us up in his shop playing on YouTube in the corner TV, and I'm just like, that's cool. I mean,
Yeah, it really is. I have people send me little video clips watching it on their TVs and stuff, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, that's so cool.
it's
man.
odd,
Yeah,
but
it's kind of weird for me just to be like, oh, you're watching me and somebody else talk.
right,
That's
yeah,
wild. But
I'm a loser.
yeah, nobody. Yeah. So, Missouri Woods and Water.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched a few episodes in the last couple weeks, especially just checking it out and whatnot.
Yeah.
You want to, well, first of all, let's introduce you, who you are, how you got into hunting, how you got into the podcast world, and we'll go from there, man.
Yeah. So my name's Nate. I probably a non-traditional entry into hunting. So I didn't hunt growing up. I fished with my dad, but I lived in town, a small town, but I didn't live in the country or knew anybody. I had a couple buddies that were hunters, but, didn't really talk about it. I went to college, and my now wife, she's from a farm. She's a farm girl, and my brother-in-law invited me on my first ever hunt, which was on a turkey hunt. And right at first light, we heard this turkey gobble, and he beelined right for us. We ended up not being able to kill him, but I was kind of like, oh, that was a lot of dopamine real quick, or adrenaline.
Right.
And I was an athlete growing up, and I wasn't anymore. And so I missed it, I guess. And then, so I got into hunting turkeys for the first few years, then got into deer with a rifle, the natural way, I think a lot of people do, with my youngest brother-in-law, and then kind of just got ate up. And then that morphed into coyotes, mostly coyotes, whitetail, and then we were going out west for elk every year. I haven't done that in a few years. But,
so have you killed an elk?
Nope. Haven't even shot at one. I was full draw once. We put the odds.
That's got to be something even right there. Being
it was
full
fun.
draw.
Yeah, we put the odds against us where we go. Where we used to go was a over-the-counter unit in Colorado with ATV access, where anybody could. And so it was hard hunting.
Yeah,
I haven't had I've had one elk bugle at me. But you see the stuff on, Born and Raised and those fellas where they're just in your face bugling, and that's not the experience we've had. So we've made it hard
that's
on
what
ourselves.
you were hoping for.
Yeah, that's what we were hoping for. But had some chances. We've had success as a group. My brother-in-law's killed one or two. Pat's killed one. Andy shot one last year. They couldn't find it. So we've had experiences as a group and success. But me
definitely
specifically,
worth it.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's
me and my oldest son and my middle son, they're hardcore. Like, hey, we want to go hunt elk. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'll go with you. I don't know about climbing up and down them mountains, man.
Yeah, honestly, to tie that into the podcast, that's how our podcast started, was Colorado elk hunting.
Oh, really?
So it was me when I first started going. They had been going already, but when I first started going, it was me, Andy, my brother-in-law Russell, my father-in-law, and Andy's dad. And then the next year, Micah got invited. And another brother-in-law went one year, but that core group stayed together for, about 5 years. And we would get back from hunting every night, and we'd have just the funnest time around the campfire.
That's right.
Shooting the shit, having a bunch of fun. And one year we're just like, why aren't we recording this crap?
Yeah.
And so we started our podcast right when COVID hit. That had nothing to do with it, but
It's
that's
timing.
when it happened.
Yeah.
Memorial Day of 2020 was when our first episode dropped. And so it just...
And you were just audio then?
Just audio.
Just audio.
Yep. And so we started. We've recorded on the mountain since then once or twice. It's been a shit show. Most of the time there's been whiskey involved.
Yeah.
And when you're at altitude, that whiskey hits harder for the guys. So funny story. It's one of my favorite episodes ever, but so I don't drink anymore. I'm actually allergic to alcohol.
Oh,
Funny story. But I found that out later in life. But so I had a rough day. And so I took the day off one day, and the guys were out hunting and said, hey, if you're not going to go back out in the afternoon, why don't you run back into town, which is like a 2-hour drive, and pick us up some whiskey or something. And I don't know shit about alcohol anymore.
Yeah.
So I get there, and I walk into the liquor store, and I tell this lady, I'm like, hey, the guys want alcohol, no vodka, or what's the one with the worm in it? Tequila. They want whiskey. And she's like, okay. And I said, and they got $100.
Fill her up.
What do you want? And she's like, why don't you get 2 bottles of this? And I'm like, perfect. Well, go back up there. Everybody gets done for the night. My father-in-law was our camp cook, so we ate well.
Yeah.
There. He makes us dinner. We have dinner, and we sit around the campfire, and we start recording, and they start drinking this whiskey. And come to find out, it's called Rittenhouse whiskey. It's 100 proof.
Woo!
And Micah actually pukes live.
Live?
Which he
That's
actually
awesome.
he gets up and makes it away, but it's on the show.
Yeah.
I can tell when it happens. And it's just kind of and I'm all worried about the dang cords the entire time because there's a fire, and then we got drunk guys walking around being dumb, and it was a fun show. That was probably one of my favorite ones.
bet,
but that's kind of why we started.
Yeah.
Is that those stories that just never, would be heard again.
That's right. I told somebody, I said, I got invited on a couple podcasts, and I really enjoyed it. So I was like, man, I want to do that. And the ones I did it with, they were just using iPads or iPhones or whatever, and it was through Riverside, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
And so I was doing it. And I was like, well, shoot, I can do this, man. I said, there's no reason I can't. I can do the exact same thing. Just like everybody else. I love talking hunting. I love meeting new people and stuff.
Yeah.
And I always said, I remember back in the day when we'd have to check in our deer and stuff. We'd have to go to the conservation stations, and there would be lines.
Everybody be checking them out.
Yeah, you'd be there 2 hours sometimes waiting to get through. And so we'd just walk around and talk to everybody. And I was a little kid, and it was almost motivational to me because I'll never forget this one little girl I met. She was probably my age, maybe a year or two older, but she shot this hammer of a buck, man. And I was like, wow, you shot that? And she was like, yeah. So I was like, it kept me motivated. I was like, the next year I was like, I'm shooting me one like that, But we did the same thing. We'd have little deer camps, and we'd sit around the fire, and we'd drink, and we'd get crazy, and it was always a blast, you know what I mean? And I just missed that. And so I was like, why don't I do something like that? And so I started it. Well, then I was like, man, we kept doing it. I was doing it remotely.
Mm-hmm.
Just seemed like, kind of like I told you earlier, there was always an issue here or there, and it just bugged me.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I could cut that out. There's so many great hunters right here, right in Missouri, and just have people come in live and talk to them. So away we went, and here we are today.
Yeah,
so.
we much prefer it, in person.
Yeah.
But like we were just talking, we got Chad Mendez to come on our show, who is one of my favorite UFC fighters of all time, and he lives in Oregon. So
you got to do it remote.
Or Idaho, sorry. And it's like, there's no way.
Right.
And I'm not flying out there.
Yeah.
We are not making that money. But
we need more sponsors.
Yeah, can we get a sponsor for that? But it was awesome.
Yeah.
But you'd much rather have it
for
in person.
Sure. You know Greg Staggs?
I've heard the name, yeah.
Okay, Staggs in the Wild and whatnot. He lives down in the Boot Hill of Missouri.
Yeah.
But he actually was here last week.
That's cool.
And I thought it was so cool that he came here to be on the podcast. I was like, heck yeah, dude.
You want to drive all that way to talk to me?
Yeah. Well, he ended up working, I think he said like 5 hours from here. So he just kind of worked it in to where after he got done with work, he just swung by here. And then, so it worked out for him. But that was a big moment for me. It was super cool. And then, of course, Alex from Hunt Arsenal.
Yep.
He was in town for the Show Me Whitetail. So it just worked out that way. And so I've been pretty fortunate when it comes to stuff like that. So
the coolest thing about doing a podcast or a show like this and like ours is the amount of people I've met that I would have never met otherwise, because I'm not super outgoing. I guess we'll say. Like, I'm not a big event person. I don't go to parties. I don't go to like big shows, and I'll talk to people. That's not a problem, but I'm not in those situations very often.
Right.
The podcast, I've met so many awesome people.
Yeah.
Made some awesome new friendships. It is cool. Like, we've got to talk to some pretty big names in the hunting world, and the hunting world's got some really cool people. I have not met very many shitheads.
Right. 100%.
Now, if they are, they are, and we move on.
There's some in there,
Sure.
but I'll say the same thing. I'm like, I've met a lot of people between the camo business and this in the last year or so that I'm just like, everybody I've met, I just feel like, man, that's a great guy. They walk out of here, or I walk away from them at a show or whatever, and I'm like, man, that dude was super cool, man. I'd like to talk to him again.
I think it's probably a good industry to be in.
Yeah.
I mean, I think most people are grounded in this industry.
Yeah.
Whereas if we were, we went to SHOT Show. I'm sorry, we're going off on a
Is this
tangent.
the one in Vegas, right?
This was in Vegas.
Okay.
And we got there Monday. That's when it started. And that Tuesday, the AVN started, which is the porno.
Oh yeah.
And we're like, I bet that industry would be maybe a little different.
Yeah,
and
maybe a
I had to
little bit.
leave, so I wasn't there when it started. But I asked the guys, I'm like, so what'd you see? You know, like
Yeah.
nothing really. I mean, we
Yeah.
didn't even notice it was happening. But
That's crazy.
I just thought it'd be hilarious just to see.
That would be funny if they seen some stuff that had something to talk about.
Our Uber driver did ask us, "Are you guys here for the AVNs?"
Yeah. Yep.
Nope,
Matter of fact, we're recording.
not happening. I'll tell you,
No.
I can keep Vegas where it is.
Yeah.
That's not my
Yeah.
scene.
I
anymore.
don't. I haven't drank. I quit drinking about a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still adjusting to the going out
Without
and not
that.
drinking,
Yeah.
and it's been a process. I mean, I enjoy not drinking. When I drank, I drank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it just got to a point where it was like, okay, I just felt like something was going to happen if I didn't get things under control.
Sure.
And so, I dabbled with a little bit of, oh, I'll have a couple drinks. Well, then that worked. And then the next time it'd be, well, that was cool. I'll
More.
have another drink. And
Yeah.
then, so finally I was just like, you know what? I'm just done with it. You know,
Mhm.
at least now I have nothing to worry about. I love when we go out. When we do go out, I'm in total control. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to.
Everybody's got a DD.
That's right. My wife, she can have fun, let her hair down. She ain't got to worry about what I'm doing. You know,
Yep.
she can have a good time. So I've gotten to where I really like it. Now I had going to somewhere like Vegas or something, that'd be a little tricky just because that's what everybody does there, I feel like.
Yeah, and that town is. I'm not trying to talk shit on Vegas.
Mm.
That town's filthy. We know more than got there, and we were like, we got our rooms, went and got our stuff put in our rooms, and we're like, we should go we got there at like 11 o'clock at night. We should go take a walk through the casino, just check out, where we're at. And so we did. And I'm not kidding you, 15 minutes later, we got offered hookers and cocaine.
Yeah.
Just
Welcome
by
to Vegas. Right?
I didn't get it. It was Austin.
Yeah.
He must be a magnet for
A
that
magnet.
sort of stuff. But it was just kind of like, geez, this place.
Yeah, it's
You know,
crazy. I
just-
remember people walking around, they'd hand you, it looked like playing cards.
Yeah. Yep.
And it was
They were
naked
trying to-
women
Mhm.
with the information where if that's who you wanted, that you could get a hold of them.
Well,
or
this guy was
something.
just standing there. He would say a word in your face, boobies in your face, but it
Yeah.
wasn't that word.
Yeah.
And we're like, my gosh. And then the other thing I forgot, which I'm not saying nothing about smokers, but at the hotels there, they allow you to smoke in the casinos because
yeah.
they don't want you getting up to go outside to
Right,
smoke.
right.
And so you walk through there, and by the time I'm done, I'm just got a headache
Your clothes are just
and you
reeking.
smell. And I'm like, man, I'm telling you, I'm good. I'm glad that I went to SHOT Show one time.
Were you guys just there visiting? Did you shut up?
We were there with one of our partners.
Oh, okay.
We weren't working for them, so we were kind of moving around. But
Got you.
yeah, it's huge. It's in Vegas. I would have much rather done another show.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did it once, but
Yeah.
I'll go if I go back out west. I'll do the Western Hunt Expo way before I do that one.
Got you. We've actually talked about this year, maybe next year, doing the SHOT Show. Just to see what it's about.
I don't think it's a bad experience
Yeah.
to go do it. It's just
We'll at least do it once, I'm sure,
Yeah.
just to see what is it. What
yeah,
happens.
exactly. Especially if you've done more shows. Like we've been to Western Hunt Expo, SHOT Show. We've been up to Iowa Deer Classic. Obviously, the Show Me Whitetails we've been to. I haven't been to NWTF yet, although I think
we're
that's
going
next year maybe.
Yeah.
But the Western
on
Hunt
the
Expo
list.
was fun.
We had to get on the list for the NWTF.
Yeah,
I
I haven't
just
even
got
done
an
any of that
email.
work.
We're doing the Alabama World Deer Classic this year.
Okay.
I'm super excited about that. I've had a lot of people tell me, like when we started the camo business back last August,
Okay.
so it hadn't even been a year yet, and so we're learning as we go. We did the Mobile Hunter Expos, both of those,
Yeah.
Georgia and Ohio, which great shows. Really enjoyed it, but had a lot of customers that would be like, "Hey, you need to do the Alabama show, show." So we decided this year we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
So we did it. We got one of the last booths they had, so I
Nice.
don't know how good the spot it will be.
Well,
in, but
when
we're
I
gonna
say
be
we're
there.
gonna go, we're not gonna go to get a booth.
Yeah,
Like I don't know. We just like go sometimes.
Yeah.
And then we've been to ATA twice. That was cool.
was you there this year?
No,
no, we
no,
did.
it's been 2 years since we've been there.
Me and my wife went this year.
Yeah.
Actually, I was at work. I don't know if I should say this.
then don't.
Yeah. Well, I came down with the illness.
Uh,
So I called my wife and said, "Hey, I'm going to Indiana tomorrow." She's like, "What?" I'm like, everybody was posting videos and whatnot. You know, I was
gotta
like,
be there.
I gotta go see this. I've always thought about going. I've never been. And so she's like, "Well, I want to go." I'm like, "Well, come on, let's go."
Yep.
So we did. We loaded up and drove up there. Got there Thursday night, and it was really cool because we got there about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I messaged the guy that does my manufacturing,
Mm-hmm.
and because I know he was there for a short stint anyway. So I was like, "Hey, are you still there?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I leave in the morning." And I was like, "Well, crap, we're gonna get in about 3 o'clock in the morning." And he was like, "I got to be at the airport at like 10 or whatever it was." So we ended up meeting at 6 o'clock for breakfast.
Yeah.
But it was cool to actually meet him and whatnot. And,
Yeah, in person.
And even though I was wore out just from
I bet.
driving or whatever, but it was cool. I had a good time. I've heard a lot of mixed feelings about the ATAs these days. You know what I mean? And so I don't really have nothing to compare it to, but it was nice. All the bow companies were there, so you got to shoot all the different bows and see all the new gear.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool. I really enjoyed it.
We're the same way. I mean, we went to Indiana the first year, and then the next year was at St. Louis. So we're like, well, hell, we got to go.
Yeah,
It's
dang,
in St.
for
Louis.
sure.
And that was our last year going to it. So I don't know what it was like in its heyday.
Yeah,
They say it's gone downhill,
yeah,
and maybe that's true. I thought it was still fun,
yeah. And they've opened it up to the public now.
which is smart.
I think it's super smart. I've had a lot of people say, "Oh, they opened it to the." Yeah, but I'm like, that gets people involved. You know what I mean? That gets people there.
And that's
And
what it
people
needs.
spend money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's exactly.
And you can
what
still do like a day or two of just the, industry,
yeah,
and then the public on the weekend or
yeah.
whatever.
And that's kind of what they did.
Did they?
I think
Okay.
it was 3 days of just industry, and then like Friday they opened it up for the public. Friday and Saturday, I think it was. So it was cool, man. I met a lot of people in the industry. Obviously, it's always nice to meet people. You talk to them or you see them online or whatever, and then to meet them in person. I love that. So
The other thing I want to make sure I introduce you to is you just experienced your first Missouri Woods and Water. What do you call that? Pigeonhole, rabbit hole, yield right turn. Sometimes we just totally go off track, and I'm really good at doing that to people. So,
hey, I do that too. We'd be talking, and all of a sudden we're over here, and I'll be like,
10
"Man,
minutes
I'm
later,
sorry."
I'm like, how the hell did we get to talking about ATA? Well, that's because you're talking to Nate.
That's right.
So
hey, but that's what I love about it. It's just you're talking to hunters, you're talking about hunting things, and you're
Yeah.
just talking. There's no script. We just wherever it takes us, it takes us.
That's
you know?
true.
So and I like that.
Yep.
But I want to know. So do you guys have on your podcast? Do you
Mhm.
guys have is there any type of like goal in mind? Anything you're kind of wanting to do with it, or is it just you're still just rocking it and
Have
wherever
fun.
it takes you, as long as
Yeah.
you're having fun?
First thing we said when we started it was, as soon as this becomes feeling like a job, I'm quitting.
Yep.
And so far it hasn't.
Yeah.
It's been, there's been times where we're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But, no, I
Kinda
wouldn't
like
say we
me
have
when
like
my-
a goal in mind. It's just, we want to have fun and talk to cool people.
Yeah.
And I think you've seen that with our show, because our name, which I hate, I think people know that, if our listeners, because when we made our name, it was Missouri Woods and Water. Water's not really something any of the three of us mess with. I mean, pond fishing, that, but so I think we've had like 5 fishing episodes ever, because what we enjoy talking about, we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And so that's whitetail, coyotes, elk. Now, we did go snagging with our buddy Daryl. It was a lot of fun. I'll probably do it again, but the minute I buy a boat's the minute I'm single. So that's probably not happening.
Right.
But so I think we've accomplished what we want to do.
Yeah.
It's been, at first we tried really doing stuff that, was always topical, which we still try to do, or, we thought was something people would want to listen to. It just wasn't as fun to talk about because we don't like it.
Yeah.
So we kind of were like, if we're doing this, we're going to talk about what we want to talk
That's
about.
right.
And we've kind of done that since then.
Like you said, if you don't do that, then it becomes work, and it's just you don't look forward to anything.
I don't want to I don't turkey hunt. Now I'm going to this year.
Yeah.
Because my properties have never really had turkeys on them for the last decade plus. Well, now I'm finally hunting somewhere that's got turkeys.
Nice.
So we're going to go this year.
Yeah.
But we talk about turkey every year, but it's not a lot because we don't do it that much.
Right.
Micah and I specifically. Andy will hunt every year, but, I don't think his farm is covered up in them.
Yeah.
So
I used to have a honey hole.
yeah.
That's actually where he came from, and it was just a wonderful spot. Well, it was a builder whose land I was hunting on,
Yeah.
and his partner decided he wanted to build a house right in the middle of this spot, and I'm like,
Well, there
"Are
that
you
goes.
kidding me, man?" So what had happened was me and my middle son had went out, set up. Just like I knew they would. The turkey came right in, nice turkey, and we use bows, and he popped one. What took off? We looked for it, couldn't find it. Said, "All right, I'm gonna come back out tomorrow. I'm gonna hunt in the morning, and then I'll go look for your turkey."
Yeah.
Well, as I'm in my blind, a 4-wheeler pulls up across the creek, and so by the time he got to the creek, I'd already got out of the blind because I'm like, "All right." I've been wanting to meet him anyway.
Yeah.
Let him know, hey, I'm here or whatnot. And he's like, hey, you Troy? And I was like, yes, sir. And he goes, did you kill a turkey? I said, well,
We shot one.
my son did. I said, but we haven't found it. I was going to go look again this afternoon. I said, did you find it? He said, yeah, it went up. It's probably a couple 100 yards from where we was at. He said, it went up and died next to the pond. And I said, oh, cool, man. He'll love that. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I can't have you hunting out here no more. And I said, oh, no, why? He goes, well, my wife and my kids, they named the turkeys and stuff. And
Oh, gosh.
if they would have seen that, and I'm like, I get it, whatever, you know what I mean? But I'm just like, but this is such a good spot, man, for deer and turkey.
Yeah.
And so that was it. I haven't hunted there no more. And the 2 other farms that I hunt, I just don't really see many turkey on it. My wife's wanting to go out with the crossbow this year. She's never hunted anything. And she's got all of a sudden, she's like, she wanted to do a bow, but she might have to have shoulder surgery.
Sure.
So she's like, I'm not going to try that, but I could use the crossbow. And
Well, she's doing more than me because if I go this year, it's going to be a shotgun because I'm not screwing around.
you're right.
If I'm going to go, I'm going to make sure I.
Right.
But
Well, the thing is, a lot of places I hunt, you can't use it.
well, yeah.
So
yeah,
it's
that's
like
true.
you have to.
I didn't think of
So-
that. Well, the stories I'm going to talk about today, you can't use a rifle where I
Oh,
hunted.
okay.
So
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
That was my first experience with city hunting,
Yeah. It's crazy.
urban hunting, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I always say, it's like I have the utmost respect for guys that go on public land and
Yeah.
shoot decent deer, decent turkey, whatever. Anything on public land, I think is great. But I wasn't giving myself any kind of credit when I said it because I'm like, it's a different type of hunting when you're hunting urban hunting. You still got
It
to
was
hunt.
odd.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get into it, but yeah, it was weird.
And you still got to deal with your surroundings,
I'm seeing.
which is almost like hunting public.
yeah. Yeah. Well, and like people just walking randomly on the property,
Yeah.
4-wheeler all of a sudden, there. It was some interesting stuff, but
Yeah.
I mean, we had fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, let's just dive. I know you said last year your 2 sons,
Yeah.
they both shot their first deers. Is that right?
So I've got 3 sons.
Okay.
Each one of them had a goal last year. Well, I had a goal for each one of them that they were going to get their firsts. So my oldest son started hunting with a compound bow finally, and I wanted him to get his first deer with that. And my middle son started hunting with a bow, which was a crossbow,
Mm-hmm.
because he still at that time couldn't pull enough back. He's now got a compound. And then my youngest son had never deer hunted before last year, so his first deer.
Yeah.
I went 2 for 3. My oldest didn't kill one with a bow. My middle boy killed a doe with his crossbow, and then my youngest killed a doe with the rifle I think it was during normal rifle season. So I was real happy because
Heck yeah,
they
dude.
both were able to get that done.
How old are they?
So last year the middle one would have been 11, and the youngest was 7.
Dang. So how was that when they actually put one down?
It was awesome. I mean, I've got Chase's, my middle boy. I got it all on video, the whole
funny.
thing.
My middle boy's name's Chase too.
Oh, really? Yeah. I met another guy named Chase today, but I got it on video. I took a video of the whole thing with my
Heck
phone.
yeah, dude.
My youngest, I didn't video it because I don't know. I was just making sure he got it done.
Right.
But yeah, it's honestly, it's more fun than I ever had with myself.
Yeah. I just remember taking my boys out, and when they got their first deer, first turkey or whatever, it was just so, I mean, I got so excited, probably more so for them than I ever have anything I've killed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
When, that night when Chase has been, out of all three of my sons, now Bennett, my youngest, has only gotten 1 year under his belt, but Chase has continued to impress me every time he goes out. He's quiet, he's observant, and if you knew the boy, he's not that way.
Right.
And so it you know, he just, every time he does stuff, he's just methodical, smart, and I shed a tear that evening by myself.
Did you? Nice.
Afterwards. And yeah, you have a different sense of pride.
Yeah.
One of the stories we'll get into, he was with me, and was the hunter that night, but we'll talk about why he didn't kill it. But, so yeah, it's just like, I mean, I would say at least half of my hunts, I'm not by myself anymore.
Yeah.
One of them is with me at least.
Nice. That's
I took all
cool.
3 of them one time last year. That was a mistake.
Yeah. I was gonna say, how did that turn out for you?
I got onto Bennett one time. He pissed me off. We were sitting on the ground, and just, it was too much.
Yeah.
3 boys was too much.
You know, it's funny because I've said something, me and another person was talking about this, and I said, you know, I wish when I would take my boys out when they were younger, I was really, hey, you have to sit still. You have to be quiet. You quit moving, quit doing. And sometimes I look back, and I mean, you have to teach them that. So, I mean, you have to do that as well. But sometimes I'll be like, I wish there would have been times I just took them out, and it was basically just kind of having fun, not so serious. You know what I mean?
You probably need to get out of kill mode because you're not killing anything that night.
Right.
And I did that with the youngest one, that property that we're going to talk about today. I took him the week before on his very first hunt ever. So I guess I take that back. He's never been a hunter before last year, but I took him 2 years ago with me. And we went up in this 2-man stand, and I had every thought in my mind that I wasn't going to shoot anything. He wasn't a hunter. I was the only one that had a bow with me. But that boy, his little legs would just be kicking. And I remember telling him, but when we got out of the truck, I said, so if you see something, I want you to tap me, and I will turn to look at you, and then you can whisper to me what's going on. All right, Daddy. And then we no more than sit down. Daddy, there's deer over there. You got to whisper, remember? Oh, yeah. And the next time he sees me, he taps me, but at the same time he's tapping me, he yells, Daddy.
Dad.
I'm like, you're tapping me. I didn't need you to say. And then he gets good and quiet. I'm like, all right, he's doing good. And I look over, and his little legs are just.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, deer see you. You know, that's what they see is movement. And that whole night, I just knew we weren't. And we actually saw 3 deer that night.
Yeah.
And he loved it. But then the next time I took him was during rifle season, and we were trying to get Caden, my oldest, a deer. And then I was like, bro, I'm going to beat your butt. Like, stop moving.
Stop.
You know, this and that. And, you know, at the end of the night, you're like, it's not his fault. You know,
right.
He's
That's
6.
what I'll never forget one time. And I'm not going to say which one it is, but one of my boys, I have 4 boys, 4 boys and 2 daughters. And one of them went out, and we got up in this shooting house type deal. And it was right on the edge of a field, looking at the woods and whatnot. Great spot, you know. So we get up there, and the sun comes out, you know, and we're looking. You can see deer out in the field and whatnot. We're like, oh, this is good. Well, I look up, and there's wasp all over the inside of the top.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm like, oh, no. Well, they're all up there, so I'm just like, all right. Well, now I just kind of keep watching them, you know. He's not seeing them, but now they're starting to get lower. The sun's starting to warm that house, shooting the house up. So now the wasps are starting to come down and get lower and lower and lower. And so finally I'm like, all right, we got to get out of here. This is getting ready to get bad. So we get out, and I said, we'll just sit in these weeds right here.
Yeah.
And because the deer were still out in the field or whatever. So we sit down. He's leaning up against a tree. I'm leaning up. On the way there, I always did it like when we were going hunting, we'd stop at Quick Trip or wherever. I'm like, you get anything you want. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
Mom's not here. I don't care if you want an
Today's
energy
for the
drink,
boys.
you want chocolate. I don't care. You just have it, So he'd gotten a Rooster Booster, this big can. And so I'm like, all right, go ahead, bro. I don't care. That's probably not the best move to make, but whatever.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so we get out in the weeds and he's moving. And I can see these deer out there in the field. So I'm like, stop moving, And I finally I kind of just grabbed him by his waist and said, stop moving. And he's like, okay, Dad. Well, next thing you know, he's asleep. I was like, thank God. Well, the deer never ended up coming to where we could get a shot. We had our boat. I was using a bow. He was just with me.
Yeah.
And so when I went to wake him up, and he had peed his pants. So we're walking to the truck, and I hadn't really said nothing about it yet, and he was like, man, Dad, that Rooster Booster made me pee. So now that's just a joke we
Memory,
use
though.
sometimes. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, don't drink that Rooster Booster, man. It'll make you pee.
And it'll make you fly out of the freaking shooting
That's
house.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, great times, though, man. But so congratulations to them.
Yeah,
That's
that was
super awesome, man.
Yeah. That's 2 years in a row because the year before, Caden got a deer, his first buck.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Heck yeah,
So
dude.
the boys have had a good few years.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, so you were focused on that last year. What happened in 24? Because I think you had a decent season in 2024.
24 was one of my better seasons I've had. I tagged out with my bow, won 2 really good deer. It was on a new lease so we'd never had a lease before. We've never, we'd always try to just get permission, but that's getting harder and harder. We started the season. One of my properties that I've hunted for years was a good hunting spot, but it was only good because the neighboring farm was good. And I was just not stupid and would learn how to kill the deer when they were dumb.
Yeah.
Come over. Well, that farm got sold, and the guy that bought it took every tree off of it.
Oh.
So that farm quickly became not very good. And so, we were just kind of doing our thing. Micah's got a buddy who knew that we were looking for somewhere new. And mid-October, this property comes up in the city. A guy posts on Facebook about it, and he tags Micah in it. And Micah's like, hey, check this place out. And I call the guy, and I'm like, hey, we're interested, but I got to see it. I can't just give you money. And I know you got a bunch of people after you, but, is there any way we can come look at it? This is on a Friday. Couldn't go look at it Saturday. I'm like, could we come Sunday morning? And if you say no, I understand. You got 30 people have already, replied. Well, he said, sure. And he did. He showed it to us Sunday morning, and we leased it.
Nice.
It was only 13 acres, but it hunted bigger than that because it was surrounded by City of Kansas City property and Jackson County property, and nobody had any access to hunt those properties.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a private piece surrounded by publicly owned land.
Yeah.
So it was only 13 acres, but it hunted bigger.
Yeah.
And so I think that we got the lease on like October 8th. So the season had already, been going. So we put cameras out, just kind of immediately, and just, did a little bit of scouting, and then just tried to see, hey, what's there? We knew the area well enough that we're like, there could be good deer here.
Yeah.
And he had shown us some deer he's killed on it before. So we knew that the possibility was there. And if you like the property itself, it's not a square, but I'll just kind of explain it as a square.
Yeah.
If you took a square, starting at like the northwest corner or the upper left, going down to the southeast corner is a ridge that runs that property. And then on either side are low spots. And on the far east side of the square is a river. And so I had an idea of how the deer would use it, but you know what they say, as soon as you assume. And so we started seeing, we went hunting. Micah saw deer right away. We went hunting together a couple nights, saw deer. And so we had an idea what was around. And then the first one I killed, it was the bigger of the two. he started showing up like around mid-October. And then I killed him on October 25th, I think. Yeah. He shows up on camera that morning at 4 a.m. Cool. There he is. He
That's the first time you
No,
seen
we had known about him for about a week
okay.
by then. And he was the biggest one at the property at that point in
that
time.
you had seen.
Yeah. So he shows up October 25th at like 4 a.m. And I'm like, sweet. He's walking into a bedding area. That makes sense. And then at 9:30 that morning, he shows up on the same camera doing the exact same thing. And it was going to be a hot day. So I called Mike. I'm like, dude, he's got to be going to bed. I don't even know why he's up at 9:30, but maybe he got bumped. And I said, there's no way he's not going into that thick bedding. So there was the river and then about 150 yards of just nasty thickness. And I'm like, he's got to be going to bed in there.
Mm-hmm.
And our property stops before you get to the river. So like he was probably on city of KC property, but I'm like, he's got to be in there. And so I made a plan to go that night, and the kids were out of school that day. I remember it was a Friday, if I remember right. And so Chase is like, well, can I go with you? I was like, well, I don't see why not, honestly. So I didn't have anything. I didn't have his crossbow ready. I wasn't going to use the crossbow that year for any of the boys, but then he wants to go. So I get the crossbow out, go shoot. It's good. Get the broadheads on it for him. And then I take him out. And I'm like, you're going to kill this buck. We're going to kill this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the funniest part of the story is we get there, and at the time he's 10 at this 2 years ago.
At that time.
And I'm like, okay, so him and I are going to face north in this scenario. The wind is blowing from the north. So I'm giving up everything to our south because I think this buck is either right to our east or right to our north in the bedding.
Yeah.
And when we set up, I got us tucked up against some really thick, nasty, like smaller trees, rows, nasty crap. And there was a downed branch that I grabbed and pulled over in front of us. And then, the grass was like 3 foot tall. And then there was a clearing. The landowner mowed a path for us, basically all the way through that ridge, and then like an opening. And then there was an opening where you could have put a food plot in or something.
Yeah.
And so we were sitting looking at that opening. And I had hunted there by myself out of my saddle 2 nights before that. And so I liked the setup, and I knew he was on camera there that morning. And so I said, if he's in bed there, it would make sense that he's going to get up and come through here.
Right.
But, who knows?
Yeah, who knows what will happen, but that makes sense.
Yeah. So we get set up, and I'm going to sit Chase to my right, and I'm going to sit on the left side. And I sit our little stools down, and I sit down. He goes, Dad, I like your spot better. Can I have the inside? And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I let him sit on the inside, and I sit on the outside, or I'm sitting further east. And so anyway, we don't see anything all night. It's still warm. Micah texts me like 15 minutes before dark. Struck out, huh? And I don't reply to him because I'm like, it's prime time. I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
And so I told Chase, hey, you want me to rattle? And he's like, sure. And so the nice thing about being on the ground is what I like when you can rattle, you can be really lifelike.
Yeah.
You can, hit your feet against the ground. You can hit limbs. And so I went as loud as I possibly could. And I'm like, buddy, if he is in there, he heard that. So let's just be quiet and listen. And Chase, at all my sons, he shuts up, he sits still, and he observes well.
Yeah.
And so I rattle, and about 2-3 minutes later, he's like, do you hear that? And I'm like, dude, that's a deer walking through that thick stuff. You need to be ready. And so the way we were set up is I forgot his shooting sticks. I forgot several things that night. I forgot a target in the back of my truck.
You literally wasn't planning on
Exactly.
it, so you get a little bit of a pass.
So usually I take a target with me so that when we're done hunting, I shoot the crossbow in it. And didn't have that, and I forgot his little shooting stick. So what I had done is I'm like, well, it'll be fine. I'll just hold it. He could hold it himself, but I'll make sure you're steady.
Yeah.
And so I had my bow on a stand to my right, and then I had his crossbow right in front of me. So if we see a deer, I'm just going to grab his crossbow and hand it to him.
Yeah.
So anyway, he hears that, and I'm like, dude, that's a deer, like 100%. And then about that time, 2 squirrels right in that spot are just causing a ruckus right up in the trees. I'm like, freaking squirrels. I'm like, thanks, and I make a joke to him, like, those dang squirrels are deer all day long, aren't they? So we stop paying attention as much, and we start looking kind of north again, and I hear a snap, and I know that is something that just stepped on a twig.
Yeah.
And so I look over, and the tree I had sat in on Wednesday, it is about 20 yards to our east, and about 5 foot, 6 foot up maybe, there's a Y in the tree. And at first I don't see anything, and then I just notice right through that Y, there he is, looking out into that opening, looking for what just made all that noise.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this until afterwards, but apparently I grabbed Chase's leg, and I squeezed so hard it hurt because I couldn't say anything to him. That deer was 20 yards away from us and looking right in our direction.
And it's the one you're after.
And it's him.
Yeah.
So I immediately am like, Chase is out, because that deer, so the deer comes from our east and the wind's coming out of the north. He can't see what just made all that noise. So what's the next thing he's going to try to do?
Smell it.
So he's going to circle into the thick crap behind us.
Yeah.
And I've got about a 5, maybe 10 yard window if he steps to my right or to the south to shoot him. And if not, he's going to get in that stuff, and we're never going to see him until he smells us. And so as soon as I grab Chase's leg and squeezed, I grab my bow and draw. And I start
Chase is probably like, what the heck?
He has no idea the deer's there.
Yeah.
Nope. Because I didn't say nothing to him.
Yeah.
And so Chase is just kind of like looking. And so I draw and I turn because I'm almost positive he's going to go try to get our wind.
Yeah.
And he stands in the Y of that tree for a good, I said 2 minutes. Micah calls bullshit on it because I don't know that I could hold it for 2 minutes, but it was a long time.
So you were draw back.
I was full draw.
Yeah.
And he kind of sits there. He kind of takes a couple little weird steps, and then he comes right out into that clearing, which is perfect. Like, that's what I wanted. And so I'm like, oh, sweet. And he takes a couple steps, and I know the whole time Chase is like, why aren't you shooting? He's like 10 yards. But he's quartered too a little bit because he hasn't got right in front of me, and he's not going to smell us now.
Oh, yeah.
And I know Chase will stay still, and I'm already full draw, so he's not catching any movement.
Right.
And when he started walking out into the clearing, I had shifted back to where I was ready to go. And that deer gets, maybe 7 yards.
And you're on the ground.
I'm on the ground with the kid. With a kid.
Dude.
And I just it might have been the most sissy meh I've ever given because he was right there. So I'm just kind of like, meh. And he stops, and I let it go. And I hit him a little bit high because he was looking back. I didn't think he was as close as he really was.
Right.
So I put my 20 on him and hit him a little high. Still a great shot. He turns around, bounds off, crashes. I didn't see him die, but I was almost 100% sure he died right there.
Right.
And I look at Chase, and he's just like, so call Micah, call my wife. Micah comes out. We go look for him.
Now, is that the first time Chase was with you when you shot a deer?
No.
No, so he'd been with you before.
Chase is the luckiest of the 3.
Yeah.
He's always in
the right time.
Yeah. And
I might need to take Chase with me sometime.
He's a good luck charm.
Yeah.
But that's the first time I've ever killed a buck on the ground.
Which is super cool.
He obviously had never seen that happen. And
that buck had to look massive.
So he's it's the first clean 8 I've ever killed. And when I say clean 8, there's not another point on him that could be considered a point.
Yeah.
Our logo is an 8-pointer, but he actually is a 10-pointer technically.
Got you.
This deer is
8.
And he's gorgeous. Tall tines. I think his G2s and G3s are both 12 to 13 inches. Both of them.
Nice.
Pretty good mass, not a huge mass. He's not super wide, but he's one of them deer that when you see him, you're like, holy crap, that's 160 inches.
Yeah.
And especially when all I saw was the side of him. So usually with me and bucks, as soon as I know it's a shooter, I don't pay attention to the rack again.
Right.
But that rack was just like, yep, it's him.
Yeah.
I knew it was a shooter. And so, yeah, Mike could come out. We searched for just a few minutes and found him. And it was a cool. So the funny joke is now I stole Chase's buck.
Yeah, because I'm going. All right, wait a minute. You had the crossbow on your lap.
Mm-hmm.
The deer, you seen the deer. So what'd you do with did you give the crossbow to Chase?
Well, it was sitting on the ground right in front of me.
Right in front of you. Okay.
So if I would have known that, number one, he would have.
So you paralyzed your boy. You grabbed a hold of him and just squeezed.
I actually think I knocked him out.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, like he sat behind that tree for a minute or two.
Yeah.
So I would have had time, but in my mind, he was going to go to the south, and I was going to have 2 seconds to shoot him. And Chase was on the other side of me, so how was he going to shoot him anyway?
Yeah, facts.
So I was like, well, we got an executive decision here, buddy. Yep. This deer's dying.
Right.
So now looking back, when he did step out into the clearing, I could have had Chase ready to go.
Yeah.
But by that time, I'm full draw, so what am I going to do?
Right.
Let down, pick up a crossbow, hand it to my kid. He's going to see it.
Yeah, you don't have a chance at that point.
Yeah, so at that point, buddy, sorry, you're along for the ride.
Yeah.
And he had a blast. I mean, you know.
Look what Daddy did.
Yeah, it was cool. So the next day, took him home with us, and then the next day I made my wife go out in our yard. Our maple trees were real pretty by then, real red.
Yeah.
And she took, what we call modeling pictures, and me and Chase got to take pictures together. And
you have to send me a couple of those. I can throw them on there. Yeah.
So that was my first buck from the ground ever.
How intense was that? I mean, was it intense?
Oh yeah.
No, or more? Let's see. What am I trying to say? More intense than it would be if you'd been up in a tree, just for the fact that you were on the ground.
So, we talk about this on our show. I like ground hunting more than I think anything.
Yeah.
You're free. You can do whatever you want anytime you go somewhere. There's nowhere in a farm you can't sit. It has its, challenges.
For sure.
Which I think that's why I like it more. So I had an encounter with a deer right after we started our podcast, and we nicknamed him Evil Eddie. And he was about a 10-year-old, like just monarch of a deer. And all he had by the time he was that old was G1s and then main beams.
Oh, wow.
And that's it.
Yeah.
He didn't have anything else. So he looked like a demon.
Yeah.
And so we named him that. Well, the county that I hunted had a point restriction. So he was an illegal deer to kill.
No.
And I went hunting one night right around Halloween back then, and it was raining. I was up in a tree stand, and I decided to get down and go over to a different spot. And when I got over there, Evil Eddie comes in, and I got that deer to come from me to you. And I have it on video, and it's just like this standoff. This deer can't quite tell what I am. I think he was kind of blind. I could have killed him, but I couldn't.
Couldn't, right.
And ever since that encounter, I was like, I gotta do this. Like, I gotta kill something from the ground. This is just so. I've always, but outside of guys like Zach Farrenbaugh, and like nobody really does it, or at least you hear about it too much.
Who's that? Luke Brown.
Oh, yeah,
that
and then
dude's a beast, man.
Oh, we had him Whitetail Adrenaline, Jared Scheffler.
Oh yeah, Jared.
Big time. But those are big time ground hunters.
Yeah,
I'm just me.
Right.
And you always say, why the hell would you not want to be up in a tree? You're going to get caught. And I understand that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be in that spot, and I wanted to take my kid that night.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be up in a tree that night.
Don't have a choice.
Yeah, we were on the ground.
I've never shot a deer off the ground with my bow, I don't believe. I mean, I take that back. I've been in a blind.
Sure.
But I've never been just on the ground and like that. And I really want to do it. You're like the fourth or fifth person I've talked to this year that we've ended up talking about ground hunting. I'm like, man, I really want to do that, man.
I don't mean to sound weird. It's almost like it's intimate.
Yeah.
Because like there ain't nothing between you and him. And when you're 5 yards away from him, like Micah made this joke when we recorded our show about it afterwards. He's like, good thing he turned around and ran the other way. And I'm like, why? He goes, what if he would have ran right over you?
Right over the top
I don't
of
even
you.
think of that.
Yeah.
I mean, they could put their antlers right through your freaking skull,
for sure.
And I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So that was a first. And then I had another first with the bow a couple weeks later, which actually it was almost a month later. It was during rifle season.
Same property?
Same property. And once again, you can't hunt with rifles there. It's in Kansas City, Missouri. So, I wore orange because I didn't know like what the rule was still. So my pictures, I'm in orange, but my bow's with me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't know what you're supposed to do here, and I don't want to get in trouble, so I wore orange.
Right.
Now that day, the kids were in school, and so I told my wife, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go out hunting tonight. So she's like, go at it. So every time I hunt, when I take my saddle with me, I always have my stool strapped on my sticks, because if I don't find a tree I like, I'll just sit my crap on the ground and I'll sit on the ground. So, and my
if you
little
do
stool,
find a tree, what do you like? What do you do with your stool?
put it on the ground.
Put it on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just put it at the base of the tree and
See, I think I was always taught you want to get up as high. I used to smoke cigarettes and stuff years ago, and they always said, you gotta get at least 20 feet up, and then you're out of their scent zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was always just getting as high as I could in a tree.
Yeah.
So I think being on the ground, my first thought is always like, man, they're gonna smell me if I'm.
Well, you're
on
not
the
wrong.
ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes it more difficult, more challenging, right? But they're still gonna, given the wind, they're still gonna smell you if you're 20 feet up a tree. You know
It
what I
depends
mean?
on what variable you want to use too. If you're 20, like some guys get 30 foot.
Right.
Okay. Well, if the deer's right under you, sure, it's not going to probably not going to smell you.
Right.
But if it's 70 yards away,
That's right.
It
And
might
that
smell
wind's
that
going just like that.
Whenever I get in trees, especially when I'm running and gunning, I don't get that high. Like 15 foot,
Yeah.
like the story I'm about to tell on the second one, I was maybe 12.
Yeah.
Because the tree didn't allow me to get much higher than that. And I've never really gotten that high. I mean, I might be a little scared of the heights. I don't know. I'm short, so I don't get super high when I'm climbing. I take 4 sticks, but I mean, I just don't make it super high. So 15 foot is usually about as high as I usually get.
I think I'm usually like 18 to 20 feet.
Yeah.
That's just where I have my sticks, the way they go. And I'm looking at cover. I saddle hunt all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always looking at those trees that have those forks. If I can get in a fork, I'm super happy.
Well, and this I have a fork on this tree on this story, but it kind of screws me. So I walk in this time. So where Chase and I killed the buck that we just heard the story on, him and I were on the north side of the ridge. Tonight, it's obviously during the rut now. The one I killed in October that I just told the story on, he wasn't even rutting yet. He didn't smell. His tarsal glands weren't all nasty. So he was probably just kind of pre-rutting still.
Yeah.
Obviously, now we're in the middle of rifle season. I think November 22nd is where I killed this one. And so the wind is coming out of the northwest that day. And so I decided to sit on the south side of this ridge. That river kind of wraps around right there after the ridge. The river wraps. And so my thought was, if the bucks are running the river, checking scent, I can either kill them if they're coming from the north before they get to my wind, which is going right into the river, or if they're coming from the south before they catch my wind.
Right.
That was my thought, at least. So I get there and I have a hard time finding a tree I like. And I'm like, well, I'm going to sit in this tree. And it's a small tree. Like Mike is like, dude, I wouldn't have climbed that thing. Like Mike is a bigger fella.
Like small as in,
small.
Really, yeah.
So I'm like, well, I'm not that big. So I climbed it. And I think it was a walnut tree. I don't really remember for sure. And about 12 foot, there is a Y in it, but not one I can sit in. So I stop at that Y. I'm pretty sure I only use 3 steps now that I think of it. And so I get up in it and I'm like, damn, these freaking limbs are all over the place. So I always keep a saw with me.
Yep.
And so I saw some limbs. This tree, it was easy to break the branches. So a couple of them, I was just like,
Yeah.
I'm tired of this. And I finally get to where I'm feeling comfortable. And I get a notification that I got a picture up on top of the ridge. And this deer that I killed, he showed up on camera about 2 or 3 days before the day I killed him. So I'm like, yeah, that's a good deer.
Yeah.
He was definitely mature, and he was going to die if I saw him. So I get this notification, and it's him, and he's walking. I'm facing south, so I'm in my saddle facing the tree, and I'm facing south so that I can shoot this way
Yep.
or this way. That was my plan.
Yep.
Did not go that way. And
It never goes there.
I get a picture and he's walking west. I'm like, oh, sweet. He's at least up here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, should I like rattle or grunt or anything? Because he's probably like 80 yards away from me, but he is working away based on that picture.
So he's going away from
He's
you.
walking away from
Gotcha,
me. I'm
yeah.
like, man, what should I do? I'm curious. I'm sitting there thinking, and as I'm thinking, I'm looking over there, and then boom, there he is. He had turned around somehow and was at the bottom of the ridge now in this little cedar thicket.
Oh,
I was like,
wow.
oh shit, cool.
There he is.
So
How far was he
maybe
at
60,
this point?
60
yards?
yeah. And so I'm facing south, and he starts working straight south of where he was, which was going to put him straight west of me, which would have been a right-handed shot, which I'm like, okay, I can set that up. No
Yep.
big deal. So I grab my bow, and he kind of starts working southwest instead. So I grunt at him once. He maybe turns his head, but I'm like, I don't know. They heard it. So I tried again, nothing. And then I snort wheeze at him, and he turns around, walks right to me. And there's this, we had some wind that week, and I think that wind put a tree down. And so there was a fresh down tree about, I think it was 22 yards exactly. And he comes to it and stops at that tree. And I cannot shoot where he's standing because of a tree limb about 10 yards away from me.
Oh, no.
And so I'm like, damn it, I can't get set up. He's not coming through. And he gets there, and this is the weirdest thing. So I know what a lip curl looks like,
Yeah,
right? You know what a
yeah,
lip curl
yeah.
looks like. It looked like he was yawning. I'm like, he ain't lip curling. He's yawning. It's like he's bored by it. And I remember saying that to Mike. I'm like, no, I swear he was yawning.
He was just out on a casual stroll,
And,
needed a nap.
So he's like scratching his back, and then he would yawn or whatever the hell he was doing. And
That's great.
and so from that time, like he walked southwest, and then he turns and goes to leave again. And each time he left, he went a little more south than he did the time before. So he leaves and he starts working more south than west, but still southwest.
Mm-hmm.
And I do it again. I'm like, "Meh," a little louder.
Was it a good man?
Yeah, I was using a grunt tube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't using my mouth, and then I snort wheeze again, and boom, comes right back and stops in that same spot and will not step over that tree. Now, the second time I had moved and at least turned myself to where I'm standing on the platform, kind of like it was a tree stand. So,
Yep.
My bridge is kind of across my
Across
chest.
you, yeah.
And I still just couldn't get a shot off the way he was, where he was. That freaking tree limb was just in my way.
Yeah.
And he does this time he stayed there for like 4 minutes, just yawning. And I think that was probably screwing with me, because I'm like, what the freaking hell is he doing? That's not a lip curl. Maybe it was his version. I don't know.
Right.
And he leaves again. I'm like, damn it.
So that's
Well,
twice. He's
that's
been
twice.
20, 22 yards.
Third time, he goes basically straight south, maybe a little west. And I try again. I grunt. I snort wheeze at him, and he doesn't stop. And this time he gets about 80 yards away. And I'm like, well, I'll try the rattle bags. So I grab my rattle bags, and I just kind of real quick.
You
and
can
loud.
still see him at this
I
point?
can still see him.
Okay.
And he stops, turns his head, and I'm just kind of like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, now what?
And he turns around and runs right back to the base of that tree. But this time he was more south. So when he stops at the root ball instead of on the other side of the tree.
Yeah.
And he stops and looks. And I kind of failed to mention that landowner had mowed paths in there for us. And he's where, how do I say this? I'm looking down the path basically.
Yeah.
So if he comes towards me, I would think he's going to walk down the path,
Yeah.
but who knows?
Right.
Well, the second time he left, that time I had moved myself all the way to the side of my platform where I had drawn over my bridge.
Yeah.
And so my thought was, if he comes, he's either going to come straight down this path, and I'm either going to have to take a frontal shot, or I'm going to have to wait for him to pass me and then turn
And hope he turns so you get to the
And,
broadside.
you know, that's not ideal because now I'm standing in a horrible spot for that.
Yeah.
So he comes to that root ball, and I still can't shoot him right there because of that limb. And so I'm like, man, if you would just take 2 steps forward, I could shoot you right here at 22 yards, and we could be done.
We done with this.
Instead, he decides to walk right towards me down that path.
Oh, he's coming straight to you.
Yeah. So he gets to 15 yards, and I'm only like 12 yards up in this tree, and it's like, I'm like, he can see I don't see how he doesn't see me.
Right.
But I'm not a big dude, so maybe I just look like a big
Maybe
squirrel.
he just blended in.
Yeah. So
Big squirrel.
at 15 yards, I'm sitting there. I had drawn. No, I hadn't yet. So as he starts walking, I'm like, freaking hell. So I'm either going to have to shoot him frontal, or he's going to be underneath me, and I can't. I mean, I guess I could, but I don't really want to try to take that shot.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to wait for him to pass me, and I don't want that one. So I'm gonna take this frontal. So at 15 yards, I just, and he sees it, and he goes, and by that time he had got to about 10, and he looks up, and
So he's looking at you.
What is dumb on his part is he looks up and just is like, hey, right there.
Free.
Yeah, and because when he does that,
Let
he
me
just
make this easy for
exposes his entire chest.
Yeah.
And so by that time I'd already settled, and he had looked up, and then so I let it go, and my arrow buried into his chest cavity, and he turns around, jumps over that down tree, and makes it like 10 yards and just falls down. I mean, the amount of blood that came out of him in a matter of seconds. And that was my first. I'd only been hunting out of a saddle for a year by then. My first deer out of a saddle, and my first frontal shot with a bow.
Nice.
And he was just a monster old deer. He had a huge injury in his chest cavity, all filled up with pus. It was nasty. He had both of his G1s were broken. His G3 on his right side is like 13 and I mean it's long. It's like 14-inch, huge. So he was an old mean deer. His back was all tore up. You could tell he was a fighter.
Yeah.
And so I kill him, and I'm like, well, that was awesome.
Yeah.
You know. And so that was probably
how long of a period was it between the time when you seen him when you got the notification that he was in the area, he was on the camera, until you actually shot him? How long a time period is this?
I bet it was 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
I mean, it took him.
Because he was there, then gone, then there, then gone.
I never lost sight of him. I will say that.
Yeah.
So I could tell like how he was reacting. I do like to blind call during the rut. Some people don't. Mike is not a caller. I'll rattle.
I do.
Sometimes I feel like I just get bored.
Yeah.
But in that case, I could see everything he was doing and could see how he was reacting. So, it just made sense to kind of, and we thought he was an aggressive deer just based on we had him on camera fighting a couple nights. So we knew he was a fighter.
Yeah.
We knew he was probably aggressive. So I was like, he's going to respond probably to some stuff. And he certainly responded to the snort wheezes the first 2 times. And then the third time I'm like, well, the only thing I haven't done is rattle. And I think what saved me was I did it quick and loud. I mean, it was just choo-choo, choo-choo. That's it.
Yeah.
Just so he heard it. Because I feel like if I would have done it too much, he would have pinned exactly where I was.
Right.
But yeah,
he come in hot.
He ran. The third time, the other times he turned around and come back. But the third time he ran.
Yeah.
All the way to that spot. And then I swear it's just like he had a barrier at that down tree that he was like, I'm going to stop here.
Yeah.
And look what's going on. And, I don't know what made him decide to walk other than maybe the way I rattled so quickly made him think that the deer were on the other side of that ridge instead of right here. And so he was going to finally go check.
Yeah.
That
And
out.
that's like you were saying, if you'd have kept rattling or whatever, he would have thought they were right there.
Maybe.
First.
Yeah. I don't know.
What I mean?
Yeah.
Possibly.
I did, looking back, that's not my my mind frame wasn't, well, maybe he'll think that they're
Right,
somewhere.
right.
My mind frame was he's going to peg me if I do too much of it.
Yeah.
Because by that time there was almost nothing. No trees had anything on them, and the undergrowth at that property had all browned up. So I mean, I was out in the open.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't love my setup, but it was the tree. It was like that's where I wanted to be, because that path stops and then another path meets it, and that ridge wraps right there. Like, I had so many features that I wanted, and that tree was where I wanted to be. It just wasn't the best tree.
Yeah.
And the ground really wasn't an option right there. I would have been out in the open.
Right.
So I'm like, oh. So I
There we
left my little stool at the base and up I went, you know. So so yeah, he was an awesome deer too. I think he was basically a 9-pointer. He has a huge crab claw on his right side. Yeah. But his 2G1s don't exist anymore, so those don't count. I don't remember exactly how many points he was.
Yeah.
I actually just talked to my taxidermist today, and he's kept the cape for me since then.
Who do you use?
Pure Luck out of Odessa.
Pure Luck,
Stacy
okay.
Smith is his name. And he's kept the cape for me because most people I've talked to him like, why are you not mounting that deer? Like, that's the biggest G2 or G3 I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've kind of like gave myself a Mendoza line and just said, anything under that, I'm going to start, you know, doing Euros.
Yeah.
And I don't like Euros that much.
Yeah.
I know they're cool
Yeah.
and beautiful. I'm not a big fan of them. So I got them Euroed, and Stacy's like, I'll just keep your cape. And actually,
Look, when I see this deer, I'm gonna be like, you should get that done.
Aerodynamics, Kevin.
Yeah.
He come over and recorded a show with us, and he's like, why do you not have that mounted? And I'm
Yeah.
like, damn it. So I texted Stacy today. I said, let's do it. And he's like, I knew you would.
Yeah, dude, that's cool.
So get him done soon. But
It's
yeah.
funny. I keep thinking, man, I want a nice Euro, big Euro. You know what I mean? But then I'm always like, but it would look so much better with the cape on it and everything. You know what I mean?
And I have a few, like the boys' first bucks were
Yeah.
not very big.
Yeah.
Like Chase is like a 110 incher, and Caden was even smaller than that. And so they're Euros,
Yeah.
but they're not just Euros. Like, I've got these like rough cedar and
yeah.
plaques for them and stuff.
So you got them looking nice.
And I don't know. Micah loves Euros, and there's a lot of folks that love them, and it's nice because they're cheaper.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
man, I like the life look
Yeah.
a lot better, and unfortunately, those are a lot more expensive. But
Yeah.
um,
Well, I'm
yeah.
thinking I want them super nice. I've got several like that, about the size of that one there.
yeah,
And but I want I at least want one or two really nice ones to put up here somewhere, you
Yeah.
know. But
I got a buddy that he's probably one of the biggest killers you'll never know, because he don't have social media. He doesn't brag about it. He'll send me a picture when he kills one, and that's about it. And you go in his basement, and I'm not kidding you, it's a 40-foot wall, and every foot is a Euro.
whew, yeah.
And he kills a nice deer every year.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's got maybe 2 or 3 handful of mounts.
Yeah.
Everything else is Euros.
Yeah. That's
And I'm
crazy.
like, man. But
it
his
looks
cool
cool.
because it's a freaking. I mean, it's just deer after deer,
Yeah.
and it's like all the way up and down the wall.
Yeah.
So
That's a killer
that's
fool.
pretty cool. Oh yeah, he's one of them guys that no one will ever know,
Yeah.
because although he did come on our show, so people do know who he is, I guess,
Yeah.
a little bit. But yeah, he's just one of them fellas that he's just a hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What bow are you shooting?
I just got a new one this year. So in that store, the 2 stories I told, it was an Elite Era,
Okay.
and I really liked that bow.
Yeah.
It was a good bow. This year we decided to get new ones, and I went in and shot, and I could not believe what I walked out with, but I got a Hoyt.
What?
Got a Hoyt.
Why in the world would you do that? What kind?
An RX-9.
RX-9.
Yeah, so I shot an RX-10. So
I say, why in the world would you do that?
dude,
I ordered a Hoyt.
did you?
My first
So,
Hoyt.
Kevin at Aerodynamics, you go in there, and like he says what your draw length, he gets you set up, and then he sets up what bows you want to shoot all at the same poundage, so you can compare everything.
Yeah.
And so he shot.
And he's got a nice little shooting range.
Yeah,
in
he
there.
does.
Yeah.
And you can sit there and take your time. He set all those bows up at 60 pounds for me so that it's not that hard to pull.
Right.
And I think it was 6 or 7 bows. And the first bow I shot was the Matthews Arc. And that's what I wanted. And I did not like it.
Really?
At first. I was like, man, Kev, that thing feels like it wants to jump out of my freaking hand. He's like, just put it back and leave it there. Come back to it. Okay. So then I shot the Bowtech. I forgot which one.
Starts with the Alliance, maybe?
It was the smoothest damn bow in the world.
Yeah.
Comfortable. And I'm like, man, I like that. Put it up. Went to an Elite. Did not like that one. Don't remember which one it was. And then the Hoyt AX...
3.
Yeah, the X3. I'm like, I like that. That's
Yep.
nice. And then I shot another Elite. It stayed for a while, and then the RX10 at the time. And I'm like, okay, I like this one. Just kept shooting them
Yeah.
to decide what I liked. And then I would talk to Kevin, and I'd be like, all right, I like this. The Bowtech was definitely like the leader for a while, but I have a short draw length, and so I'm worried about speed. And the only bad thing about that Bowtech is it's super comfortable, but it is by far the slowest bow of the group.
Gotcha.
And so I'm like, okay, well, the more I shot that arc, the more I liked it.
And it's
So-
pretty fast, I think, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
But I started taking stuff out, and my final 2 was the Hoyt and the Matthews. And so he's like, all right, let's put them back at like 65 pounds, more than where you're probably going to shoot. And at 65 pounds, that arc was not easy to pull. And the Hoyt was simple.
Yeah.
So he said, well, let's shoot them through the chronograph and see where they're at. The Matthew was a little faster than the Hoyt at the time. But I said, I'm pretty sure I could go up to 70 pounds in that Hoyt, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, well, let's do it. So we put the Hoyt at 70 and then shot, and it was faster than the Matthews.
Mm.
So Kevin's like, well, is the Matthews really faster then? If it's harder to pull at 70
Right.
than the other one is, and that one you have no problem? So I think I ended up being around 277 at 70 pounds on the Hoyt, whereas the Matthews, I was at like 268 at 65 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I could have got up to 70 on that one. It
Yeah.
was just a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
And the Matthews just felt good. So, or I'm sorry, the
Hoyt.
Hoyt just felt good. And so did the Matthews. So funny story. I go with the RX9. Then Micah goes in to get a new bow, and he's a Matthews guy. So he's like, I'm getting the arc.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm getting, blah, blah, blah. He walks out with the AX3.
No way.
Yeah.
So I've got several.
And Kevin did not try to like,
sway him one way or
he did
another.
not try to
was
do
like
that to us.
Completely on
he's
y'all.
like, you guys just decide what you want and I'll help you.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I've got several bows. I'm a big Bowtech guy. I've got, I think, 4 Bowtechs.
yeah.
I've got an older Matthews solo cam, one of my first bows.
Mhm.
I got an Obsession, which I really like Obsession bows. And last year I bought an APA, and
Yeah.
you heard of that, yeah. So, and I really liked it. It took me a minute to get used to it because it's pretty rough. I mean, you draw it back and you hold it back because
Yeah.
it wants to go.
Mhm.
But I got to where I really liked it, and then when I would grab a Bowtech, I'd be like, just for a lack of better way to describe it, I'd be like, man, this feels like a kid's bow.
Yeah.
It's so smooth,
Mhm.
That APA, I just felt like you were doing something.
It's like holding back a Doberman.
Yes, facts.
Yeah.
That's a great. I'm gonna steal that. I'm totally using it.
Yeah.
So, but Hoyt come out. A buddy of mine bought a Hoyt. I had only shot one Hoyt in my life, and it was just like a couple arrows. Never owned one. A buddy of mine bought one last year, and I kept thinking, man, I know when I was growing up, my older cousins, they were shooting Hoyts, and they were like these, just rough, tough backwoods. They were hunters. They were frog gigging. They were living the good life, is what I call it. But they all shot Hoyts, and I always thought, whenever I think about a Hoyt, that's what I remember them by. And so I'd always be like, I'm gonna get me a Hoyt one day. Well, Hoyt came out with the Georgia clay color, and I absolutely loved it. As soon as I seen it, I was like, oh no.
She's pretty.
My wife's like, you really gonna buy another bow, And I'm like, but look how beautiful that is, So I was all about the RX10. I thought that's gonna be the one I get. I
Yeah.
guarantee it. So I'd happened to be up at Shields, And I walked by and I seen that color and I was like, I'm going to shoot one of these bows while I'm here. So I grabbed that RX-9, went in and shot it. Or I'm sorry, RX-10. Went in and shot it. Now, I thought it shot good. I liked the draw on it. But it was the after shot that I didn't care for. And I don't know if it's because
sound?
no, just the feel of
Okay.
it. I think it was because of its carbon, maybe.
Yeah.
It just, I wasn't used to it, or I don't know. Just something about it. I kept thinking, I don't know if how much I really like that. So I left, came back again. A few days later, I was back in there, and I seen the AX3, and I'm like, let me try that. And it's the AX3 33, and so I grabbed it, went in. Soon as I drew back, I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I loved it.
I actually don't know why I didn't pick the AX3. I'm happy with the RX-9, but
Yeah.
I think part of it is the Arrow was a carbon bow. And so I'm like, I like I do like carbon bows.
Yeah.
I like lighter bows. I'm not a big dude. The AX3 that I shot was their 30-inch, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I think the reason I chose the RX-9 over it is because it's carbon.
Mm.
But if you look at those two bows, that AX3 looks nasty.
Yeah.
And that's what
It
Micah
does.
went with. Now Micah went with that color.
The Georgia clay.
Now the reason why I ended up with an RX-9 is I was shooting the Georgia clay color, and then Kevin's like, "Hey, you obviously can get that one. That's your call." He's like, "But can I show you one?" And I'm like, "Sure." And he brings down this black RX-9 with gray lettering on the limbs,
Mhm.
and I'm like, "Dude, when I put red strings on that, that's mean looking." And
Yeah.
so I went with that one. And there's not the RX-9 and RX-10's not, there's the only
Right.
difference is the mods, and I'm
Yeah.
not going to do that anyway. People smarter than me are going to work on my bow.
Right.
So if any of your listeners are interested, I got an Elite Era for sale.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
a hell of a bow.
Yeah.
But I'm never going to. So I still have a Bowtech Assassin.
Nice bows.
That's
like
what
that.
I shot all until I bought that Era
Yeah.
3 years ago. Yeah. So,
Well, when I was talking to Greg Staggs
uh-huh.
last week, he's still shooting the Bowtech Destroyer.
Dude, I'm telling you now, if I wouldn't have got into a new bow, that assassin's got brand new strings on it,
Yeah.
and it's still ready to shoot. It's my backup bow.
Yeah.
And
I've got
it's my favorite.
Prodigy. I really like the Bowtech Prodigy, but probably my favorite is the SR6.
Yeah.
It's fast. It's quiet. I love that bow. That's one bow I'm like, I'll never part with. I love that bow.
And I'll tell you, that assassin was an amazing bow. It went out to Colorado with me. It's light. It's small. I had one issue with it, which was more, I guess, probably my fault. But you know how the draw stop is a nut.
Yeah.
Well, I started shooting bad one year, and I'm like, and that was back when Evolved Archery was still around, and Kevin was working down there in Warrensburg. And I'm like, man, why am I shooting so crappy? So I take it in there, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And so, Frank is like, why don't you shoot it? So I shoot it, and he's like, hold on, let me check something. And he checks it, and my draw length had creeped up to 28.5. Little by little, when you start shooting worse, you just adjust to it. And next thing you know, I'm shooting 1.5 inches longer than I'm supposed
Right.
to. And so I'm just not shooting well.
Yeah.
That nut had just loosened enough that it just
Kept moving.
and so they fix it, and they actually put white out on the cam and on that nut, and then like a pin mark for me.
That way you
And
know.
every time I shot since then, I would check it, and then
Yeah.
I shoot. Which that's just older technology. I mean, it was a 2010, bow,
Yep.
which at the time was the fastest thing in the world, and is still just as fast as these newer ones.
Yeah.
As far as the factory ratings.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna get that at 27 inches.
Right.
But, so that bow, I'll probably never get
Don't
rid
you?
of it.
I wish they would start doing like the IBO. It
Yeah.
drives me nuts. I
Yeah,
mean,
because it's at 20. What is it? 29 and a half. Or
yeah,
29.
everything's set, and I don't know how else they could do it. You know what I mean?
Me either.
But it's like I sit there and I'm like that APA I shoot. It's IBO is like 365.
Yeah.
I don't get
What's your draw length?
28 on that one.
You'll
It's
be
28.
close. You'll be
Yeah.
close, but it depends on how heavy your arrow is.
I
Yeah.
can tell you right now, I'm shooting a 300 or 430 grain arrow, and I'm getting with the APA at 2870.
What's your poundage? I'm gonna guess you're around 290 to 300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm right at about, well, I was shooting about 304.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually
Which
really
is fast.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But I'm like, I'm a far cry away from that 365. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I understand that that's just the way it's done. But
Yeah.
I had
That era I had it at 65 pounds because I couldn't, I was just, I don't know, I didn't want to pull 70 with it. And so it was all the way down at like 260.
Oh, really?
And I'm shooting 430 grains. And I was so damn worried about that. Even though, hell, the Hoyt's only 277. It's not like it's a lot faster.
But it's still faster.
But I did not like being under 270.
Well, see, that's me. I got to be the last few years. Somehow I just got it in my head. I become like a speed junkie with my bow. I wanted the fat. That's how I bought it. That's why I bought the APL.
Sure.
I wanted the fastest bow I could get possible. You know what I mean? And so I was looking at all the new bows coming out, and I'm like, nothing's faster than my SR6, or nothing, at least enough to go spend the money. It's not that fast. So, and then I had never even heard of APA, so I just stumbled upon it, and then I'm like, hey, wait a minute, this sucker's shooting fast. You know what I mean? And so I started looking into it. I contacted him, talked to the owner a few times, and I was worried because there was nowhere around here you could get an APA to shoot it. And he was like, I think it's an actual program they do now, but he was like, I'll buy the bow, shoot that thing for 3 weeks to a month.
If you don't like it.
If you don't like it, send it back. I'll give you your money back. No worries.
Yeah.
And I was like, well,
That's
hell, I can't
stupid not to try.
I'm going to do it. So I did. And probably the first week, I was like, I'm sending this thing back, dude. I'm telling you, when I had him set
felt
it
like
at,
your rotator
I think,
cuff was
67 pounds. When I got it, I was like, just send it to me at 67 pounds. And I go to Rogers a lot, work with Zach up there. And so I get it, and I take it up there, and he checks it. It's right at 67. And I start drawing that thing back, and I'm like, my goodness,
can't
man.
do it.
I get like 3 or 4 shots in, and I'm like, I like to go out and shoot
Yeah.
like several arrows. And I'm like, there's no way I can do that with this bow. So I said, let's back it down. So we backed it down to 60 pounds. And I shot it like that honestly, it was probably just less than a month. I shot it at 60, and then I went up to 65, and then up to 70. And like I said, I really like that bow, but when I shot that AX3, and then I went up there I bet I went up there at least 4 more times just to shoot it. The next time I grabbed my release and went up and shot it, and I'm like, all right, I think I love this thing, man.
Yeah.
So I even thought about telling him, hey, that thing's used as heck. I've shot at least 30, 40 arrows through it. You should give me a discount on it, I didn't. I ended up ordering it.
I think it kind of seems like that arc. Like that first, I did not like that arc.
Yeah.
Because it felt like it wanted to jump out of my hand.
Yep.
Like I was holding back a German Shepherd, not a Doberman.
Yeah.
We'll go with German Shepherd.
Yeah.
And, but I
I'm
shot
a
it.
mailman, so both those scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, Micah delivers propane for a living. So
Does he?
He said so. I'm a German Shepherd guy. Only thing I've ever had in my life is German Shepherds. Although now I have a rat, but he's been bit 5 times.
Oh, man.
And he's like, and every freaking one's been a German Shepherd.
Dude, scariest dog I ever seen in my life delivering mail was a German Shepherd that wanted to kill me.
I'm like, that's because they know you're a bitch, Micah.
Well, he knew I was a bitch because that sucker wanted.
Yeah.
I was on my phone with my wife one day while I was delivering mail, and this sucker come around. I heard the lady. I knew him.
Yeah.
And I knew he would kill me if given the opportunity. And we didn't even deliver mail to their house. You still went around their house. I mean, you were there.
Yeah.
But we just didn't have to go up to the house. And so I'd went around the house, just put the mail in the slot, and I heard no, and I was like, uh-oh. And my wife saying something. And I said, hold on. And I grabbed my mace as I'm coming off the porch. And I looked, and I knew it. Here he come around that corner. I mean, he heard that mail slot. He knew I was there, and he come around that corner and just leaped. And I'm like, and I'm spraying, and he probably got from me to you in the air as I'm spraying, going, I'm about to die. And it finally caught hold, and he took off back around, and I was like, oh my God, man! I said that was the scariest moment, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, so Micah likes to mess with me because he's got pit bulls, and pit bulls have
I love pit
a bad
bulls.
rap,
Yep.
right? And he's like, the only damn dog's ever bit me is a freaking German Shepherd. And I'm like, well, that's because, you know, I don't know why. I mean, my dog, you know, was well trained. I think any big mean dog, like a dog that could do damage, trained the wrong way could cause
definitely
damage. And pit bulls have a bad name because
people train them the wrong way.
They don't get taken care of the right way, and they can be powerful.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But it's the same thing with any big breed. I mean, my wife, I remember when we first got married, I wanted to get a Doberman. And she's like, I will never get a Doberman because when she was a little girl, she was chased by one on her bike, and she will never.
I watched. That's what scared me at Dobermans. There was a girl where I grew up coming down the hill on her 10-speed, older girl. You know, I'm probably a teenager or whatever.
Yeah.
And a Doberman come out chasing her on the bike, got his nose stuck in her front wheel. It flipped her. It ended up killing her.
Oh no.
Yeah, and it was like, oh my God. And I'd heard this story. And so I was just, anytime I seen a Doberman, I'm like,
never mind. Yeah.
I got a lady on my route right now. She's got the biggest Doberman I've ever seen in my life.
He's probably a sissy. I've
And
learned
he comes up and he's the only Doberman I've ever jacked with. He'll get up on the door of my my mail van right there, and he's all licking me. And I mean, I love that. And I love him because I'm scared of him. You know what I mean?
Give him the proper respect.
Yeah, I'm like, he could eat my face off.
Yeah,
right
he
now.
is German.
Yes. So yeah, dude. So what arrows do you shoot?
So my problem is I'm a creature of, if I find something I like, that's why I didn't get rid of my assassin.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I even bought the elite at the time I got it. But
before we jump ahead of that.
Yeah.
I was gonna tell you remember the Bowtech Legends bow, the Chris Kyle bow?
No.
I actually have one of those.
Do you? Nice.
Yeah. They made like 1,100 of them.
I remember them talking about, but I never saw or heard much about it.
Dude, they're killer. I have to show it to you. It's but I searched for a little over a year because I wanted a brand new one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was older, so it was so hard to find. Well, I found a shop down in, I think it was in Georgia, that had one, and still in the box because it came with dog tags, a Bowtech hat,
cool.
and all this certificate of authenticity and whatnot. And so I happened to find one down there, and so I bought it. So I still have that. Anyway, sorry, I just wanted to tell you that.
So I haven't changed. I want to change arrows, and once I run out of the lot that I have, I will. But I'm currently shooting Black Eagle Rampages.
Gotcha.
I think they're 350s. And then my broadheads, I switched over to Severs a few years ago, and they have been nasty. And that's so my sons that my little boy that killed the one with this crossbow last year, he had a Sever on that thing, and
I killed a doe with a Sever last year.
They're nasty.
To see what it would do.
So the two I told you the story about, those were both with the Sever.
Yeah.
Before that, I was shooting because we were going out west. Good.
Yeah.
Didn't have no problems.
No, I was looking at it.
Making sure it was still recording.
I shoot Victory.
Yeah.
I got victory in my veins.
I shoot Victory arrows.
Well,
I shoot Grim Reaper broadheads.
I like that.
Sorry, I just had to do that.
I want to switch over to the TKOs. Mike has switched over to those.
Yep.
But I've got like 17 arrows left. I ain't too cheap to
hard.
switch. And they've done the job, but both of those deer were shot with Severs.
Yeah.
I'm still shooting a wrist release. It's a true ball. Short and sweeter.
Yeah.
So I've got 5 of those damn things. I've got mine, a backup, 2 for the boys, and then another backup.
Nice.
Just in case.
Yeah.
When you go out west, you make sure you have
many backups.
Yeah. You don't want to go up in the timber up in the mountains and forget that you didn't have your freaking release.
Now you're like,
so I've always got one in my pack.
Yes.
Just in case. And I'm too OCD to have just some random release with me, so I bought the exact same release.
It's so funny. I dropped a release one time. Actually I hit it. Dude, I won't go into it, but it was in the middle of the rut. Craziest rut scene I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
There were 5 bucks involved and 1 doe.
Makes a fun day.
It was crazy. And I was going to shoot the biggest buck.
Mm-hmm.
And I grabbed my bow and I swung around like this. And they ended up they're fighting.
Sure.
These two big bucks. I'd never seen it. I've seen deer spar. I've seen, you know what I mean? I'd never seen two bucks just really go at it like that.
Yeah.
And they ended up going on the other side of this tree. So I swung around like this. I was in my saddle. And when I did, somehow my elbow or my arm, somewhere on my arm, hit my release and down to the ground it went.
So was it like a thumb release?
Yeah, that's what I shoot. Sorry,
Or a hinge.
thumb release.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm like, them bucks came right by me. I'm like,
You should look into this product that freaking Chad Mendez, a friend of his, is making, I guess. Have you seen it? It's a magnet deal that clips on your sight housing.
Yeah, I think
It just
Genesis 3D's making one.
maybe, I don't
It may
remember
be
the
that
name of
one.
the company, but it's a magnet that your release,
Just
they
clicks
make it
to it.
for whatever release you
Yep.
got, and it holds it. And then you
Yep.
can also turn a little deal that keeps
Locks
it in too.
I wonder if that's that Genesis because it has like a rubber hook or something or a rubber band or something that goes around that holds it.
I've never shot anything. Well, I've shot thumbs and hinges, but I don't have a problem with punching triggers. And so I
had a big problem, so I had
Yeah.
to switch.
You
I
know-
switched everything. I switched to an EZV sight.
yeah. Oh, I've tried. I wanted to try those a few times.
Yeah, I switched to it because I developed like a target panic. It was like,
Sure,
and I
yeah.
felt like I was trying to look around the pin as I shot.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I seen the V and I was like, screw it, I'll try it.
Mhm.
So I switched to the V so I could see what I was shooting.
Sure.
I switched to a thumb release because I don't know if it was John Dudley or somebody that I watched that was like, if you got target panic, you should try this or whatever. So I did that and I immediately started shooting better.
Yeah.
So I shot the EZV for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And this last year I switched back to a pin sight.
Did you? I never did. I wanted to try the EZV, but I haven't.
All
Luckily,
these deer were killed with an
knock on
EZV.
wood, I haven't ever developed target panic.
Yes.
I had a really good. His name is Doug Hutchison. He actually still operates a place called Chase Archery. He doesn't sell bows, but he works on them. Like he gets people. And the first time I took my bow to him years ago, he wants you to shoot. And he looked at me. He goes, "Can I teach you something?" I'm like, "Teach away."
Please.
And he goes, first thing he did was he took me away from a trigger that sticks straight out, and he got me a swept back trigger. And he goes, "All you need to do is your finger needs to be right over that trigger, either in that first crease or that second crease, whatever you feel comfortable with, and it doesn't move from there again. Your finger is not doing anything. Your back muscles are. That finger is just finishing the job."
Yeah.
And he taught me how to shoot that way. And so I don't knock on wood, don't currently have an issue with like my youngest son got his first bow this year and he's shooting and we'll go outside and he'll do this.
Yeah.
Nope, Chase, don't do that.
Yep.
Which once again, he's just learning.
Right.
He's actually doing a hell of a job, but he's just got to
And
learn.
especially got you to teaching him about how to
Imagine those two back muscles coming together. That's what's going to make you pull that trigger, not your finger.
Right.
It's not a gun.
Right.
It's
And
not
if it's
a trigger.
not that, there's a good chance you're pulling.
Right. Yeah.
Whether it's a thumb release or anything.
Yeah. I honestly wish they wouldn't call them trigger releases.
Yeah.
Because then when you think trigger, you think,
Pull it.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know what the hell that would help anybody, but if they call them something different. But yeah, so I like my setup. Like I said,
What saddle are you running?
trophy line. I do not remember what the name of the saddle is. It was their last year's model, whatever that one was called. I've got Hyperlight
Sticks.
sticks and platform now, which I'm a huge fan of. Freaking Hunt Arsenal has that. Is it the Mag Light?
The mag.
The smallest one, the newest
Yeah,
one.
they've got that. Well, they've got the sub 2.
The Sub 2.
Yeah.
That one. The little fella.
Yeah.
The one that closes
Flat.
flat.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I could just throw that in my pack. I wouldn't even need to put it somewhere else.
Dude.
I
I have, I think, 3 different Hunt Arsenal platforms.
Mhm.
I've got the sub 2. I've got the Elite. And I've got the Mag 2.
Which is the
And
bar-
I got the Razor, what's it called? The very first one. It's super small.
Okay.
And that's probably one of my favorites. But the Mag 2 is my favorite. I love that platform. To me, it's like the perfect
I'm talking
size.
about the smallest one they've got.
Yeah.
Is that the Mag 2?
No,
or is
no,
it
no,
the
no.
Razor?
That's the smallest one is the Sub 2.
The Sub 2.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
all their
I
platforms
played
are
with
phenomenal,
those
dude.
at the
The show
expo,
me,
and I'm
yeah.
like, freaking hell, that's cool. Because I just got all this. The only knock I have on my Hyperlight, it's great. So my Hyperlight sticks, I just switched over to daisy chains because I like daisy chains better.
Yeah.
And then also my Hyperlight platform, I'm also using a daisy chain now instead of the freaking cams.
Strap.
But the only thing I don't like about it is it's light. That ain't no doubt about it. But you know, the cleat it just sticks up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a little bit
Yeah.
cumbersome. Not that big of a deal. But damn, I saw that thing. I was like, I could just throw that in the pack itself.
Hunt Arsenal, they've got it down on the platforms. Their platforms are elite.
I'll have to. I don't know. I like to spend money. Apparently.
Yeah, I'm a gear junkie.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
So am I.
every platform that's been made, I've pretty much owned. Every saddle, every stick.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to try. Matter of fact, that's why you know the Mocan Saddle Hunter group.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I started that, was because I was like, dude, I'm buying it. I mean,
People could try some different stuff.
yes.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, you bring your gear, I'll bring my gear. I can try your stuff, you try my stuff, whatever. And it actually worked out because it's really cool just to.
That's what I liked about ATA when we went. Like, I tried everybody's freaking sticks.
Yep.
There was a company out there called Tree Sticks.
That's them right there. Those are the
you got 'em?
best sticks.
And the little deal
Hold on.
comes out. Yeah. Well, I played with them and they weren't out on the market yet.
Yeah.
You have to show me them. Yep, that's them. That is them. So I can't remember what I thought was so damn cool. This thing right here. Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep. The built-in aider, and it doesn't have any like it doesn't dangle around.
Mag 2.
Yeah, so that is the larger, which
Yeah,
still
that's
doesn't weigh
bigger
anything.
than the Elite.
Yeah. Well, one thing I liked about, and I don't,
Or the Sub 2.
maybe it is this one. So I had a Trophy Ridge EDP,
Yeah.
and the EDP is beveled all the way around.
Yeah.
And that was awesome on my feet because my feet didn't feel like I was about to lose them after a 4-hour sit or whatever. And that's the only thing I don't like about like the Hyperlight is your feet are up against a hard edge.
Yeah.
Well, that EDP has a similar version of this one here, but they've got another one that's even more beveled than this one, don't they? Or is it this one?
No, that one's actually not. Look, it's upside down.
Oh, okay.
Dude.
So yeah, so this would
Now-
have been awesome.
Yeah.
They've got
Now the
a new one that's beveled,
The one
right?
that starts with an E. I just said the name of it. I can't think of the name of it. It's beveled. The Mag 3, the new one they just come
big
out
one.
with, it's
Yeah.
beveled.
But see, that doesn't even weigh that much.
Let me see one of those tree sticks.
Okay.
So Latitude bought tree sticks.
Did they really?
Yeah. Which I was like,
I know why. Look at them.
they're less than a pound a piece.
Yeah.
People say, oh, we had the lightest stick on the market. And I'm like, you don't, these are by far,
Yeah.
feel that
So this
one.
was a prototype at the year we went to ATA, and I said, "What's cool is I don't like aiders."
I love aiders.
I-
But I friggin' love
But what I'm
that
saying,
aider.
like what I don't like about them is they're just you got to wrap them around your stick or
Yep.
whatever. Well, theirs, how do you pull it?
Let me show you.
Because obviously it's been a few years,
So you,
and then down. Yeah. And
there's
so
your
if you
aider.
don't want it, you just suck
And
it
then
up
when,
in
I,
the stick.
when I climb down, I love how this goes.
Yep.
I love the way it ties. It's the simplest tying method on the market because you basically go under this side, back under this side, pull it tight, and that's all you
Like
do.
a boat cleat.
And then when you're
Yeah.
coming down, you just
Yeah. So they weren't in the market yet when we saw them. And then I ended up getting Hyperlight sticks, and I'm like, well, they work great.
yeah.
And they're really light and easy to use.
Well,
but
these things, the one thing I love, like this is my last stick.
they also look like they're 18 inches instead
They
of
are.
12.
They're
Yeah.
18 inch aider, and each one pops into this little clip.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm climbing, this hook, I got a little, I don't know what you call it, just a little clip that's in the molly of my saddle.
Yeah.
All 4 of my sticks are right there.
Mm-hmm.
They don't bang around. They don't move.
They're carbon.
I just grab one, hang it, grab one. When I come down, this one's obviously the first one that comes down. It hooks there, and then they all just stack. I mean, it's so easy, simple. I'm like, why? I don't know why more companies aren't doing that.
Yeah.
Latitude bottom, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But the first thing they did was take out the aider.
Oh, are you serious?
I was like, why would you do
that?
that?
You can't get that anymore.
Nope.
Son of a bitch. That makes me mad.
Yeah,
I'm so angry.
I just talked a buddy of mine into getting this.
And he couldn't find that?
No, I actually probably last year, I think it was, he was going to buy sticks. And I was like, dude, I'm telling you, these sticks are phenomenal.
Hey, to the listeners of Troy's, if you have a set of tree sticks that you want to get rid of, get a hold of me.
Get a hold of them. And
those tree sticks.
The other thing I like, they sound like black racks when they bang together. If you smack them together.
They don't. So it doesn't make you think of clanging.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, these things are great. So anyway, I told Chris, I said, dude, if you're going to buy sticks, spend the money and get these. And he's like, man, that's a lot of money. Because they're pricey.
Yeah.
To me, it's well worth it. But he finally talked him into it. He got the tree sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely loved them as soon as he got them. And then tree sticks went out of business. So he's like, thank God I got them when I did.
You get what you pay for a lot of times.
Yeah.
When I first started, running and gunning, I remember I had and this is talking no shit on these things.
Yeah.
But I had an XOP Vanish tree stand. I bought the little tree stand transport system, which was a backpack basically that you hook.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
And then I had Hawk helium sticks that I bought daisy chains for.
Yep.
And I hated it. I didn't hate it. I hated running and gunning.
Yes.
Because what I would do is I would take my my tree stand in the system, and then I would sit the seat down, and I'd put my pack on the seat.
Yep.
And then I'd, attach it to it, and then I'd walk in that way. Well, that was so much weight with the Hawk sticks and that I didn't like running and gunning. I'd go sit on the ground. Yeah. Because I am.
It become work.
Well, I'm weight averse. Like, I don't like weight at all. Mm-hmm. When we go out to Colorado, I don't like crap on me. And especially when I'm in climb a tree. So the lighter, the better for me. Yeah. So like some guys, some saddle guys, they like bigger platforms.
Yep.
Great. I want the smallest damn thing that weighs nothing because I'm not there to be comfortable. I'm there to get up there quick and kill something.
Yeah.
Now, hunting all day could be a different story. But most of my hunts are not all day hunts.
Yeah.
I mean, I got kids. Usually it's a morning or an evening.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with the sticks. I want the stick to be light, which the hyperlights are super light. I will give it to them, but I don't get very high because they're shorter, and I don't use aiders because they annoy the shit out of me.
Yeah.
So that's what I liked about them when we saw them, and they hadn't come to market yet back then, and I just kind of forgot about them, and now they're freaking out of business.
Yeah, it sucks. Jamie, I talked to the owner, the guy that owned it.
Maybe he's got some extras. Maybe you can call him, see if he's got 4.
Yeah, might give him a call. I actually had thought about buying another another stick, just to have. I don't know if I ever would need.
We should break one or somehow.
Maybe I should buy it, and then I talked myself out of it. But he said the last time I talked to him, he said he was making a tree stand.
Yeah.
So that dude's a genius. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, the way you did these sticks, I told him, I said, whatever tree stand you come out with, I want.
Dude, they were the talk of ATA that year. Like, everybody was around them. I remember them being.
And I don't know why. I know why Latitude took the aider out.
Why?
Because they want you to buy their aider.
Oh, okay.
It makes sense as a business point. I get it. But why is nobody else doing that? You know what I mean? I'm like,
maybe it's hard to do.
It's freaking organized.
That's what I love. The guy, he shows us that, and I'm like, shit, I might actually use an aider.
Yeah.
Because it's there if you need it.
Yep.
And if you don't use it.
You don't have to.
I would probably about 95% of the time not use it. Because those are already bigger than my hyperlights. Yeah. So I'm already going to get a little higher. So I probably, and like I told you, I don't get that high. but it would be nice to know that they're there,
Yeah.
right?
I'm telling you, between those sticks, that Hunt Arsenal Mag 2,
Mm-hmm.
and my Buzzard Roost saddle, well, especially now that my kids are older and gone,
Mm-hmm.
most days when I go out, I'm hunting dark to dark. I just, once I get there, I'm just there.
Might as well.
Because you never know when something's going to happen.
Nope.
So this year, I killed, it was funny, me and my oldest son was talking one day about, I said, man, I've killed a lot of great deer. I said, but I've never even seen a drop tine. The next day, I'm in a tree. I went to sleep for 30 minutes in my saddle. Woke up, turned around, took a pee, turned back around, got comfortable in my
There's
saddle.
a drop tine sitting
and there
right
he is
there.
looking at me.
Dang.
And I was like, holy crap. Anyway, people will be like, you slept in your saddle? And I'm like, yeah.
Well, I haven't done that. I was just gonna say that because I haven't. When I used to, I still will get in a tree stand if I
Have you ever sat in a Buzzard Roost?
no, but like if I have a property that I can maintain, like it's my property,
Yeah.
I'll sit stands. Like I'll put some presets in, especially for the boys, because
Yeah.
then I can get the boys up in a tree with me. I'm gonna get Caden a saddle, which is my oldest son, and I think I can take him with me soon. But there's a lot of moving parts there, getting a kid up in a tree with me, and so I haven't done it yet. So I'd rather go to like a preset, stand or something. But
I have a bunch of presets, but they're all
for
like,
saddles.
Like I've got a bunch of platforms.
Well, see, I've got a bunch of tree stands that I'm like, well, hell, I could go put double stands up in this tree, blah blah blah. But anyway, I used to have this muddy harness when I was in tree stands a lot, and it had this the tether was what do you call it? It kind of was elastic where it kind of
your safety line.
your safety, and I would lean forward and grab my the shoulder straps for it and just
crash out.
And I would just die. I mean, I was dead to the world.
Yeah.
I bet I had 300-inch deer walking in front of me, and I never knew it.
That's what I said. Like I said, I literally woke up and I remember sitting there and I just kind of looked around for a second. I was like, man, I got to pee. And so I turned around in my saddle, let her fly, turned back around, and he's 17 yards.
Oh, my
and I was
goodness.
like, how long? And it wasn't like he was freaking out. I mean, he was just looking at me, kind of like,
He watched you pee.
Yeah.
Look at that guy.
I'm like,
Yeah.
did he hear me snore? You know what I mean? Because I'm sure
Yeah.
I snored or whatever. But
Well, I'm
when
trying
I
to
go
figure
out,
out-
I'm like, I just try to, I don't care. If I get tired, because like I said, I hunt a lot of dark to dark. So if I get there and all of a sudden I'm just like, man, I'm tired.
That midday would hit me pretty
then
hard.
I'll just
Yeah.
go to sleep. I'm like, whatever. I'm not going to be uncomfortable fighting it,
I've just kind of figured out, like, I was like, well, would I just kind of like go towards the tree and like spread my legs and like just kind of wrap
Well,
the tree
what
and
I
just fall
do
asleep? Or
is
I've
if-
never.
Do you ever use a pad or
No,
anything?
I
on
don't
the tree?
use knee pads or
See,
nothing.
I will wear knee pads.
Once again, like I told you earlier, I'm very minimal.
Yeah.
So I don't like carrying extra stuff.
Yeah.
Like the Micah has the knee pads. Micah's got the like the extra deal on his saddle that is for more comfort. I'm like,
The
nah,
back
I don't need
band.
that shit. Just
Yeah.
put me in a tree, So I haven't got those things.
I'm excited. I'm gonna have you try that Buzzard Roost on.
I'll
right
have
there
to,
before
yeah.
you leave.
Yeah.
But it's because you can raise that back up. You don't need a back band.
Yeah.
You can make it. And Hunt Arsenal has the cloud.
That one.
That is a.
You know what I'm most excited about that saddle actually?
That
I
new
played
one, the Freedom.
the
one that
freaking
came out?
pockets on it.
Yeah, those pockets are crazy. If I could
Because
just
what I hate
somehow-
about my damn pockets is they're not very big. So I'm everything I need to climb a tree I put on my saddle. So I don't want to get in my pack.
Yeah.
So like my extra clip or my gear hoist, all that is in my little bags. They're just not very big.
Yeah.
Dude, those pockets that's the one thing I'm like, I'm okay with that being a little larger.
Now, if you just wore broadside camo,
I know.
all that stuff's built in. You don't need
I get
bags.
you.
You don't need nothing,
I
man.
get you. I
You
get
got
you.
a platform pocket. I mean,
I heard.
I know it's
Yeah.
pretty.
I heard
pretty-
that last week.
Yeah.
We were talking about that.
Yeah, I don't even know how long we've been on there.
It's been a minute.
Been a
Yeah.
little bit. I usually have my timer, but on my I
Well, that's
put
cool.
my iPad up there, but
Yeah.
and didn't charge it. So when I pulled it
That's
out,
all right.
it was at like 6%, and I was having the camera issue, and so I was like,
Our
man,
shows can go from anywhere from like 45 minutes to 2.5 hours.
man, I
We
try.
just-
In my head, I'm always like, I'm gonna keep it at 45 minutes, and it
Good luck.
never
Yeah.
ever happens that way. Actually, the one I did with Alex from Hunt Arsenal, 26 minutes.
Oh, really?
I was like, but that dude talked so fast. I'm just like, oh my goodness. And
Okay,
he
he
just
got her
talk.
done. Yeah.
And I said, well, what about this or that? And I'm like, all right, well, hey, that was a great podcast.
I can't tell you the last time we've had one. We've probably had some under an hour in the last year, but not very many.
It's
Yeah.
hard to do because
Hell,
you get to talking and you're talking about something you love to talk about.
Yeah.
So it's hard to stop. You just keep
Yeah.
talking.
Well, and like I love talking gear. That's
Yeah.
another thing I like talking.
I'm a
and-
gear junkie,
Yeah,
dude.
me too. I had to do some selling of things. I need to, like, I've got platforms I'll never use again. And
I do
just
too.
They're just sitting in my basement. Why do I not sell them? But
Use them as presets.
I probably should.
You know what so this is what I do.
need
I
to do
use
is get Caden comfortable in a
Yep.
saddle, and then I can go
Just
do
at
some
ground level.
presets. Yeah.
because I use I have several platforms. I love Trophy Line Mission, the great big platform.
Yeah. Yep.
I use those.
Those
I
are
think I have
huge.
3 of those
Mhm.
that I put up for presets. I use Hawk Sticks
Yeah.
as my presets.
I like heliums.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and people trash Hawk. They trash the crap out of them.
hmm
I've been,
Their tree stands are freaking comfortable.
dude, I've been using these Hawk helium sticks
Yeah.
for at least, I bet I've had them at least 10 to 12 years.
I've had mine for at least that long.
And I've got some that I put in, like I got a buddy that he'll go out and he'll be like, dude, that's sketchy as hell. That stick, instead of being straight up and down, it's like this.
hmm
And I'm like, I know it's sketchy, but this tree is amazing. It's in a great spot. That's why it's there.
Yeah.
And I've never had it move on me.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not dumb. When I know
How to use them.
at this angle, like
Yeah.
it could move. So I make sure I'm tied in. I
Yeah.
make sure I got the 3 points of contact because I'm like, I'm not falling.
Yep.
But I've never had it actually move.
Me either. Now I haven't used them for a long time.
Yeah.
Like actually, I stole the daisy chains off of those Hawk heliums for my first set of trophy line sticks that I used,
Mhm.
which were the old. I can't remember what they were called, but so they don't even have straps currently.
Yeah.
I still have old. Remember the Muddy Pros
Yep.
with the cam buckle?
Yep.
Still got those.
Yep.
But what I think where Muddy screwed up on those, they're heavy, but the damn rope ain't very long.
Right.
And so like there's a lot of trees I'm like, can't freaking climb this one.
Hey, these tree sticks.
Yeah,
So when I got them, I've got a couple trees that are big.
sure.
And
And
I'm like-
you can use it.
Well, I couldn't.
Oh
So I
damn.
called Jamie. I was like, hey, man, you don't have a longer rope? He goes, yeah, I can get you one. I said, well, I need like 4.
I'm telling you, there was I think he stopped doing it. It was a dude that did daisy chains, and he was out of Missouri down south.
Trevor Bird. Yeah.
All my shit's his.
Yeah.
And
See-
they're long. You can just freaking throw
Yeah.
it around the tree, and
I used him, and I also used Sam, the Amstel guy.
yeah, the Amstel guy.
Yeah, he
Yep.
makes great stuff. I use a lot of his stuff. Matter of fact, that's all I've been using. Is his
Didn't
stuff.
Sam just go out of business?
Nope, Trevor did.
Is it Trevor that did that? That's right.
the
Okay.
Missouri
Yeah.
boy did.
Yeah.
'Cause I used to get him confused because it was the Amstel guy and Trevor Bird was
You're gonna make me forget
something
it now.
Amstel.
Yeah. But Trevor, gosh, that's gonna piss me off. I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, what is that?
Well, we'll figure it out as soon as we're done recording.
Yeah, for sure.
But he,
Trevor's a great guy too, man. I
Yeah.
kind of hated to hear that he was going. out
well,
of
it's for
business.
good reasons.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, his family's growing, and
Yeah,
just time to step away from it,
yeah, for
which is
sure.
good for him.
Yeah,
He's a very, very educated mobile hunter.
yeah, knows his stuff. That's
Yes, he
for
does.
sure.
Yeah.
And I actually, he was one of the people I started talking to when I came in to saddle hunting.
Okay.
Him and
yeah.
Matthew Tompkins.
Okay.
Well, Matthew used to own TX5,
Okay.
and then Latitude bought him out, took him over like they did Tree Sticks.
You know more. I don't pay attention like that. I thought Three Sticks was probably still running.
Oh no, dude.
Man, that pisses
That's
me off.
so disappointing.
I've got to find out. I've got to find 4 of those now that I've
Yeah.
played with those again.
I'll hit Jamie up
You're gonna have to.
and be like, "Hey, is there
You got
anywhere?"
4 of the old school
Yeah.
sticks.
He'll probably be like, "Nope, I can't do that."
I won't tell nobody.
Yeah, that's what I said. I won't tell no one, bro. No one will ever know.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Well,
awesome.
heck, I want to get you in that buzzard roost. I hope you come to the Mocan. That we do an event.
I saw that.
I hope
Yeah.
I can get you there and get your guys there, and because there's all kind. Buzzard roost will be there.
Yeah.
And you can try all kinds of different saddles and platforms, and it's just a good time.
Yeah.
I got a couple. I usually do it at this archery range up here in Platte City.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been talking to a couple different places about maybe doing it at their place. So that's why I haven't said, oh, this is where we're going to do it at yet, because I just haven't totally decided where. But got a couple good options. It's going to be a good time for sure.
Nice.
So I'm excited about that. But
Yeah.
maybe see what happens.
It's kind of funny because we like to make fun of people on our show.
Yeah.
When saddles first came out, I definitely made fun of them.
My buddy, well, you talk about that. I had the Millennium
Yeah.
M100U or whatever. It was the lightest one they had at the time.
Yeah.
I had that because I had some stuff get stolen.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Millennium Monster that got stolen. And so I was like, I'm done. I'm going to go. I'm mobile. Everything when I go
It's
hunting.
going to come back with me.
That's right. I'm
Yeah.
not leaving anything ever again. And so I found the lightest platform I could find. I didn't know much about sticks. I didn't know much about mobile hunting, period. But-
Sure.
So I found hawk sticks. So I
Mhm.
grabbed those, and I'd go. And remember that time I was telling you about where I ran into Ty, and we're like, "Oh, you're
Yeah.
trespassing. You're trespassing." That's what I was using at that point. And so I'd killed I'd killed a deer, and I called my buddy Chris. I said, "Hey, dude, will you help me drag?" I actually have a heart disease, so I have a defibrillator and stuff.
Oh, damn.
So sometimes I'm thinking, I gotta be careful. I can't be dragging this deer by myself. I will if I have to, but I don't want to.
Sure.
And so I called Chris, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll come help you." And so I met him at the gate, let him in, dropped my tailgate, and I said, "Here, help me get this." I had my stand, everything packed, sticks, everything was on there. "Help me get this off my back, brother." And so he grabbed it, and he was like, "Damn, that's your mobile setup, dude?" And I'm like, "Man, it's the lightest gear I could find." I don't know. I said, "It's still by the time you walk 2 miles, set everything up, hunt all day, tear everything down, walk 2." I'm like, it's a job. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? The next day he calls me. He's like, "You ever heard of this saddle hunting?" And he hadn't either, but
Yeah.
he just stumbled across it. We do a lot of researching together
Yeah.
for stuff. So he's probably like, "All right, how light can we get?" But I literally said, "Are you talking about from a horse?"
Well, what's funny is, like, if you read back on it, saddle hunting has been around a long time.
Yeah, years.
And,
years.
But, like, you're going to have to give Andy a hard time. Andy, he's got saddles. I think he's used them once or twice, but he's still, like, sometimes he'll grab a freaking hang on. No,
Yeah.
what do you call it? Climber.
Climber.
And now Andy is about 6'8", 6'6" to 6'8", somewhere in there, 206. Like, he's a
So
big
I won't give
fella.
him too much.
No, you don't want to do too much. But he's kind of a bitch, right, Andy? That's right. No, I'm just kidding.
He said it, Andy, not me.
And
Hey, you know
he'll
what we're
still
gonna
run.
do?
He'll still run with a climber.
Andy, what we're gonna do?
I wish I could do that on ours.
Yeah.
And he'll still run in with a climber sometimes. And I'm like, man, he's like, I just grab it.
Yeah.
Like, he's the exact opposite of me. He could care less about
Yeah.
weight. Whereas me, I'm like, man, I don't want anything on my back. If I could walk in with not even a pack, I'd do it.
Broadside camo. Whoa!
No, I don't want anything on me. I want to
Yeah.
just be able to, like, hover up the tree.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't want my bow with me. I just want to be able to be like, you're dead.
Have you seen the deal? I seen it at one. It may be in Iowa, where the dude, it's a tree stand, and it takes you up the tree basically.
Oh, for folks like with mobility issues.
no, I don't even think that was it. I think.
Oh,
it
you're
was,
talking about that, like the elevator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, I was like, what in the world is that?
I would like to try.
I would try one.
Yeah.
Just to try it.
If I were just like, this is a killing spot and it's always going to be a spot I go, I might just sit down and hit the button.
Now, did you see Matt Garrison had the out on a limb?
I did.
That deal, that tower deal.
I've already got it
Dude.
sent to my guy. So we do we help Missouri Disabled Sportsmen with their coyote hunt every year.
Oh, nice.
And you got these guys on track chairs and you're trying to freaking get them on a coyote with a tripod in front of them. And we saw that and we tried it. And I sent all his information to our fellas there because I'm like,
He finally released the price and everything for everything.
dude, those would be so sweet. They're not even that expensive.
No.
And,
well, it's $1,000 for the tower.
Comparatively, we don't need the tower though. We just need the arm for the
isn't
the
that
chairs.
arm killer, dude?
You mount that arm to the back of the chair. It comes over top of them, and they can just sit there. And
yeah, dude, that's amazing.
It's like $400 for that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we could set all those guys up that way, and it would be money. So I need to follow up because I'm going to see what they're doing on that.
Yeah, that would be cool. Matt was like, we got the saddle poles so you can hang from it. And I was like, shoot, if I had that, I just want a bow holder on the side of that chair, and I'm just going to sit in there. I mean, you can go all the way around. There's nothing to stop you. That thing is pretty cool.
Yeah, I got up in it in the tower and was playing with that deal.
I did too. I actually recorded Brandon at one point. I was like, here, this is a good opportunity. Get up in there, show how you put the hoodie on and the jacket while you're still in the saddle, and so he climbed up there and did it. I got up there and got in the chair and was like, this thing's killer, dude. Mm-hmm. I don't know about hanging off the side of it and spinning around, but Matt did it. It wasn't.
I'm not scared of heights. I'm scared of falling.
Yeah, me too. I don't want to fall.
Yeah, I that's probably why I don't get super high. I don't think I'm scared of heights, but I got a healthy fear. Like I ain't gonna do stupid crap. Yeah. I've known too many people that have gotten major. And actually, I'm surprised. I'm lucky to be sitting here with you today. When I first started hunting, this would have been like year 2. I was just hunting, and I was using a rifle at the time still, and my taxidermist Stacy used to hunt this property, and he had a tree stand up there still. And so I called him. I said, Stacy, can I go sit in that tree stand of yours? Yeah, go ahead, whatever you want to do. And so I bebop. I don't have a harness on. I don't have anything with me. I bebop up that tree. It's about 20 foot up, and I get to the top of the sticks, and I go off the stick onto the platform, and the top rope snaps.
Oh, no.
And I've got a 300 Win Mag loaded on my back, and I fall straight backwards 20 feet, hit the ground.
Oh, my goodness.
Hit the ground, and I go, roll over. I'm good. And hunted the rest of the night off on the ground. But that could have went.
That could have went
very
so bad.
My gun could have went off, shot me.
Yeah.
I could have broke my neck. I mean, all kinds of stuff. And that day I was like, I've got a wife and children at home. I should probably not be so stupid.
Yeah.
And
but it seemed like when I was coming up hunting and whatever,
nobody wore them.
I never knew anybody that wore a safety harness or anything.
Yeah.
It wasn't up until I bet I was in my 30s before I even started wearing one. You know what I mean? And then once I realized, we should be wearing safety harnesses. Well, then it was like, all right, I'm not going up without one. You know, you start hearing
then especially when I got the boys in it, I'm making them wearing them.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to.
Yeah.
So wait, if I fall out of the tree, my son will be fine. I'll be dead at the bottom, but
he'll be safe.
He'll be okay.
That's what counts.
Yeah. But, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's smart to be safe nowadays.
For sure.
But yeah, it's kind of funny. The gear has evolved over the years.
Crazy.
Even since we've started our show.
Yeah.
It's changed so much.
For sure.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it too, because like I said, I'm like you. I like gear.
And that's why I don't like going to shows that much, because I see cool shit.
Spend a lot of money.
No, I do like shows. It's just next year we're getting a booth there. We already told him we will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be super
We just need
cool.
to commit to it and say, we're going to take this weekend. We're going to make sure that we're around. Our issue is we've got young families, and so we're always going somewhere, doing something, and we almost always don't have time, like an entire weekend available.
Right.
It just so happened, though, we would have been able to do the show this year, but we don't usually know about it before, like a month before. So I just told, Russ that we're just going to do it. And we'll make it work.
Yeah.
Even if we miss Friday or something.
I think it was a pretty good show.
Yeah, I liked, and are they going back there again?
As far as I know, yeah.
I think it is.
But it's going to be in February. The dates
are
already out.
I do remember seeing
I don't remember
it,
exactly. It's like the end of February, but I'm pretty sure it was February.
Yeah, so we'll just say we got to do it.
Yeah.
And be out there hopefully. So Especially that it's in Kansas City. It's nice, right in our backyard.
Yeah, dude. It's
Yeah.
10 minutes from my house. I was like, there's
Yeah,
no
for
way
you it's even close.
I cannot do it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for us it's like a 45-minute
Yeah,
drive, but
still,
still it's nothing. Yeah.
It's not like driving to Georgia.
We don't got to
and-
get a hotel. That's all. I
Yeah,
know
that's
about.
right.
Yeah.
That's what my son said. He goes, oh, it's really nice to go to a show and not have to sleep in a hotel. And I'm like, yeah, I do like
Unless our
that.
wives want to, make a thing of it and stay downtown.
That's
or something,
right. We can
they
do something cool,
But I won't worry. I like my own bed.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I don't want to keep you nowhere. I don't have no idea how long we've been on
It's
here.
been. I
but,
bet it's been over 2.
Yeah, it probably has.
Yeah.
I'll be like, this will be the longest one yet. You got it,
First for
brother.
everything.
Hey, thank you so much for coming on, man. Really appreciate you. It's been great talking to you. Great getting to know you. Look forward to hopefully developing a friendship and doing some more talking.
Yeah.
You know
Thanks
what
for
I mean?
having us
sure.
on, man.
Yeah.
Or me on.
Yeah. And good luck with your future endeavors and good luck with the podcast, man. I hope it just grows like crazy and
Yeah.
hope you have a great, successful 26, and I hope your kids actually have a great, successful
That's what I care about
26.
most.
That's
Yeah.
right, buddy.
I mean, obviously, who wouldn't want to kill something? But
Well, I don't know. I mean, your son was going to kill that one buck, and you decided you.
I took it right out from under him.
him.
he's got to know who's boss
Yeah,
still.
that's right. Remember, I'm your daddy.
Yeah. Remember who's your daddy. Take the money, dummy.
Don't forget that. Hey, everybody watching, thanks for watching, man. Hope we was a little bit entertaining for you, and really appreciate you being here. And as always, blend better, hunt harder.
Every season brings us back for more. It's blood trails and bucktails round the fire where the whiskey sails. Every hunt's a story, every shot's a chance. Won't you